Rice football program here in Houston on a panoramic night in the Bayou City. The Owls are back in their favorite nest, historic Rice Stadium, where they have not lost this year. It's the first ever meeting tonight. Rice at 3-2, ready to take on winless UConn. Hi everybody, Sean Kenny alongside LaDarren McClain. Smacker Miles is with us as well. LD, you know as well as anybody, it is a razor-thin margin to win a college football game. Last year, these two teams were on the plus side of that. This year, you fast forward to this 2023 season, UConn coming up just short in a couple of close ones.
Yeah, if you look at the Owls, they're just one of these teams that you don't want to play. They come with a physicality that is sometimes tough to match, and that's going to be on display here this afternoon. But if you look at the Huskies, a couple of breaks here and there, and they get the turnover margin on the plus side, their season could look completely different. I'm looking forward to watching them this afternoon.
Offensively, UConn lost their starting quarterback and their starting running back in the first half of the year, yet they put their best offensive game together last week, thanks in large part to the big guy, Christian Haynes.
Well, he's a 2022 first-team All-American, and he's a preseason All-American this season. He's got the intangibles with the size and his feet. He's one of the premier offensive linemen in the country.
Meanwhile, for Rice, it's a little bit more finesse this season. Success coming through the airwaves thanks to the arrival of JT Daniels.
Yeah, JT Daniels, the first in the American in passing yards per game and passing touchdowns. He's got an aggressive style. He likes to attack defenses vertically. He's able to throw off schedule. One of the premier quarterbacks we'll get to see in the country here this afternoon.
Absolutely gorgeous night here in Houston. Clear skies, 76 degrees, a light wind. It looks like it will remain dry over the course of the early evening hours as we get ready. The first ever meeting, Rice and UConn here at historic Rice Stadium. These two teams with a bye next week. Both these teams wanting to head into that bye with some momentum. UConn winning the toss, they elected to defer, so we'll see this Rice offense, and for the second straight week, not a lot of practice time for JT Daniels. For more on this, we send it down to Smacker Miles.
Coach Blimgren told me Daniels is one day ahead of last week. Before ECU, he didn't practice until Thursday. This week, he took some reps on Friday. It was a good week for him. He said he's tough, and he expects to play hard and his team to play hard around him.
Thank you very much, Smacker. We look forward to hearing from you throughout the course of this one as Rice starts at the 20-yard line. JT Daniels from the shotgun. The Americans' top passing offense, and no surprise, they go right to the air. It's the tight end, Bowden Groon, who's really emerging as one of Daniels' favorite targets here this season.
Yeah, and you'll see this throughout the course of the day, and really with their tight end situation, you better be able to block, and then secondly, come out of the passing offense into the flats like you saw growing there. So that's a good high percentage play shot on first down. Right now, they're still ahead of the chains here.
Both of these teams operate from a pro style, so you'll see a lot of 12, a lot of 13 personnel, each team huddling as well. Nothing downfield. He'll check down to Juma Otoviano. And Otoviano is tripped up. A good open field tackle by Chris Sheeran.
Well, you're seeing right off the bat the defensive game plan. They're trying to get home with their front four and then play coverage in behind it. That's a good job there by this defense to make Daniels, first of all, get rid of the ball and then come up and make the tackle for a minimal gain there.
Jim Mora, very creative on the defensive side of the football. This UConn team, very good at getting at the opposition. One of the top teams as far as TFLs this year. 3rd down and 6 for the Owls here on this opening drive. Low snap. Throw by Daniels, incomplete near the first down marker, right through the hands of a very normally reliable weapon on that outside with Ross and McNeil.
Yeah, that's just where your receiver and the quarterback are not on the same page. The play was there, Sean, but you've got McNeil thinking to go back outside, and the quarterback is saying, no, I'm going to throw you inside to try to throw you open, and that's where the disconnect was. A credit to this Huskies defense, a defense that's given up yards coming into this game. And that's a good sign on the opening series on a 3-and-out there.
Hunter Hunt, one of 4 Hawaiians on the roster for Rice on the punt, but before the snap, the day's first flag. Kevin Randall, our referee here today, 5 yards against the Owls, so that'll push Hunt back. So if you're UConn on the road, this is exactly what you needed. This defense has played well for the most part throughout the course of the year. They force a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Now you need their special teams to keep the momentum, right? Keep the tilt of the field back in your favor and set up your offense in good field position here.
Hunt gets the kick away. Brett Buckman will let this one bounce. Not a good kick, and it does not take a Rice hop as it is touched at the 44 at punt of just 22 yards. A little bit of nostalgia for Jim Mora and a trip to Rice Stadium. For more on that, here's Smack.
As head coach of the UCLA Bruins, the Bruins beat the Owls 49-24 in that game. Coach Morris showed me the ball from his office at UConn this week. He said he's had a blessed career. Now his enjoyment comes from those around him. He hired a young staff on purpose. He loves his players. And this phase is about winning and also giving back.
Yeah, that was a special moment for Coach Morris. Spent 6 years at UCLA. That was the first of 52 wins at the collegiate level. Now he watches this offense, which just completely controlled the game last week in the first half against Utah State. I've never seen a game as far as the discrepancy for time of possession. A 25-5 edge last week with the Aggies.
You know, that's one of those games they probably should have won going into double overtime. You take a look at the quarterback there. I think he's been pretty phenomenal there in his first career start earlier this year against FIU. And you know, again, he's just one of these guys that's a mobile quarterback, a dual threat. He has the ability to pull it down and run if necessary.
Quan Roberson spent 3 years to start his career at Penn State. Now his first pass is a catch over the middle. That's Cameron Ross, tackled by Myron Morrison, but a first down for UConn.
Here it is again. Excellent pass protection up front. Easy read for the quarterback. That's what you like. As a quarterback, if you can, your offensive lineman can handle that initial rush, and you've got a clear pocket, and the defense is playing zone, that's an easy, comfortable throw, pitch, and catch for a first down.
Roberson last week completed over 70% of his passes, threw for 250-plus yards. That had not happened from a UConn quarterback since 2017, as Victor Rosa is swallowed up on first down.
That's a good job there by this Rice defense, a defense that's 7th in the American Conference in rush defense. They gave up 145 yards last week against Utah State. So their defense is certainly trending the right way. And that's all you have to do, especially with JT Daniels at quarterback on offense. If this defense can just get off the field, don't have to be, world beaters, but if they can get off the field, this team will certainly take off more.
4 receiver set, they bring a blitz, picked up beautifully, and that allows Roberson to run. He'll get to the boundary side, escorted out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Good job there by Kerry Walker picking up the blitz. Jim Mora, year number 2. So good to see him back on the sidelines. His last year at UCLA in 2017 talked about how he just wanted to give back, not just to the players, but some of the young coaches that he brought in. An opportunity that was by design to bring in some of the younger coaches so they might be able to take away from some of his experiences, not just at the college level, but also his success in the pros.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. Just to have Coach Moore around football on that sideline, it just seemed like everything is in perspective and right.
Cam Edwards on third down won't get there as Rice able to bring him down. Myron Morrison, 3 tackles here on this early first series for UConn, and it looks like they're going to send out the field goal unit.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want your defense to do, is to get off the field, especially when this offense had a short field to work with, Sean. And their defense bowed up well. Good run defense here on this series.
43-yard field goal for Joe McFadden, 3 for 5 on the season. This will be his longest of the year, and the knuckleball wobbler is going to fall well short and wide. And UConn comes up empty despite the tremendous starting field against South Florida a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, these numbers are jumping off the charts. It really, the only time he's done pretty close to that was his freshman year at USC. Listen, this is a talented quarterback in the American Conference and making noise across the nation for sure. it's going to be fun to watch him here this afternoon.
Series number 2, and the pocket collapsing. Good coverage downfield, but Daniels able to buy some time, and he finds his wide receiver up near the 40-yard line, throwing the strike to Dean Connors, who's becoming more and more of a weapon out of the backfield.
Yeah, this is fantastic by Daniels. The ability to extend the play, Sean, that's where you've got the experience of a quarterback that's been around the block and seen a thing or two. And again, the arm talent allowing him to throw across his body into no man's land for a completion just shows you the talent this young man has.
Certainly a pocket passer, and with the limited mobility because of the lower leg injury, impressive that he felt the pressure and was able to throw a strike to his weapon, Connors. Junior from Kamala, Hawaii, gets the carry over the right side. Not much for 2.
Yeah, Connors is a good-looking running back. I think they've got a nice 1-2 punch in the backfield, but Connors a little bit bigger, 6 foot, 205 pounds, got that lean when he runs with the football, and I think he's an underrated pass catcher out of the backfield. So look for this afternoon, for him to get out in the flats, maybe get one-on-one with these linebackers.
Second down, pressure up the middle, and Daniels throws a strike toward the sideline, caught by McNeil, and a first down, and there's the poise we were talking about, knowing he was going to take a hit right there.
Yeah, when you play quarterback at this level, you're just daring a defense to blitz you. Here come the Huskies. They try to bring a blitz, but when you do that, Sean, it's man-to-man on the outside, and he's salivating just to get that ball out and make the completion. Once again, that's a pretty good route there by McNeil.
Neal really starting to come alive, has a catch in 5 straight games now, and they talked about his consistency that he's starting to find. Really had his breakout game a couple of weeks ago against USF. Quick throw and catch made at the 36-yard line, short gain. Again, it's McNeil with the grab. Tui homing up, Brown in on the stop.
Now you see this time the quarterback and receiver on the same page. He runs an option route. He can turn it out or turn it back to the inside. This time they're in sync. The pass is on the money, and it's just taking what the defense gives you. They're not trying to hit home runs just yet. The defense is playing nickel right now coverage, so they're trying to throw things underneath, Sean, just to keep this defense honest.
35, they will try to get this ground game opened up, and one of those rare times a hole did pop open for Juma Otoviano.
Well, you know, I really love this offensive line. You've got some experience up front. Now, this offensive line is 314 pounds per man. Very big. And here it is. Watch they get their hands on the defense, and then next thing you know, the running back is in the next level of the defense.
Serving the anchor up front on that offensive line. The left tackle had his consecutive start streak snapped a couple weeks ago against USF. He had started 40 straight. They protected him a little bit last week in the win against East Carolina. They went with Cedeno on that side as a flag flies. Big hole opens up for Otoviano as he crumbles his way into the end zone, but there is a flag down at the line of scrimmage, and it looks like this one is going to come back.
And that's unfortunate because Brant Banks, the left guard, 6'7", 325 pounds, mauled this defensive lineman. And that's pretty much reason why Otoviano was able to go up there beside from the hole here. But, man, you're talking about steamrolling up front.
She was taking some extra time here as they discussed the penalty. And now Rice indicating that, so our referee having some microphone issues, Kevin Randall, but they're going to pick up the flag, and the touchdown stands for Otoviano, a touchdown run of 24 yards.
Look at the offensive line here. You see a cut block there, and then you see the seal off there by Brant Banks. You didn't see the end of it. He took him down, but I think they were talking about kind of an illegal block. One offensive lineman went low, and then you had an offensive lineman on the other side go high. It looked like an illegal block, but after talking about it, they chose not to go with the flag.
First
Titanium on us now, and the freedom to upgrade every year.
Am I gonna get that back? Nope.
It's an opening night triple header on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Year number 6 here at Rice for Mike Bloomgren, the 46-year-old. Spent 7 years on the West Coast as an assistant with David Shaw during that strong run by Stanford. The Cardinal winning 8 or more games every season, 3 Pac-12 titles, and the success that Bloomgren has brought to Rice. We talked about it at the Open. First bowl game last year for the Owls since 2014, and he felt this offseason bringing in one of the top recruiting classes that Rice has seen in quite some time. Momentum, direction pointing certainly up. On the return, UConn will get up past the 20 to the 25-yard line as we go back to the touchdown run by Otoviano.
Yeah, and I think the officials, Sean, were discussing if it was an illegal chop block. You had a high-low situation there. Watch the engage right there. It looked like it at the moment, but you saw the seal off there by Brant Banks. This was a really technically sound offensive lineman here, and this offensive line creating lanes for Otoviano to get up in there. That's what this team is built off of. If they can get back to running the ball and be balanced in the passing game, it's going to be a tough offense to slow down today.
You mentioned that block by Banks. He was one of the off-season priorities as he came in from Nebraska, and he has certainly shored up one of the holes left by a departing senior a year ago. UConn on first down, slow going offensively here as there is nowhere for Cam Edwards to go. Again, it's Myron Morrison who's just been all over the field here in this first quarter.
My goodness, this is how you play linebacker at the college level. He just scraped and cleaned and found himself right in the hole and stuffed that for a loss is what it looks like. This linebacking group is really good. They play a base 3-4 defense, and these guys have to be big and physical, but also run to the football and play coverage. It's a good group at that next level.
Roberson on second down. He will zip it over the middle, and it is broken up. Getting a hand in there was Taylor.
Yeah, it's so good on the back end for a defensive coordinator to call, pressure up front if you've got coverage on the back end. Gabe Taylor, normally a safety, he's got cover corner skills, so he can match up with the inside receiver from time to time. A lot of versatility on this back end of this Owls defense.
The secondary a little short today for Rice. No Jonathan Jean. Marcus Williams is banged up, but he's out there on this third down play, but a flag flies.
I think we're going to get Brett Buckman. I think he flinched. I think this is going to go backfire.
Back to the Rice secondary. Jean was injured last week in the East Carolina game, so Williams, who had a career-high 9 tackles, really stepped up in his void, but he got hurt late. He was a game-time decision coming into this one. Rice looking for their first 4-2 start since 2013. They haven't won their first 4 home games since 2008. Third and long. Let's see if the Owls bring pressure. They rush 5. Roberson over the middle. Pass is caught up near the 36. He'll be about a yard shy of the first down. That's Jordan Porter, the transfer from New Mexico.
And that's a big-time throw by Roberson. Now it comes up short of the first down here, but it just shows you this kid's got an arm, and he's reading the field pretty well. Now Porter's got to help him out. Maybe take that route just to cut a touch 2 yards longer, and maybe they have a better chance to get that first down. But again, that's a pretty good play, good stop by the defense to get off the field here.
Just the 1 first down thus far for UConn on the road here in this opening quarter. George Caratan on the punt. Line drive kick, fair catch signaled for by Sean Fresh at the 22. 43-yard punt, 5:11 to go here in the first quarter. Rice with the
On us now and the freedom to upgrade every year.
It's an opening night triple header on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Quite a journey for JT Daniels. It all started on the West Coast at USC, where he started a couple of years. A knee injury in 2019 cost him the remainder of that season. So then he moves to Georgia. Again, an injury in his second year opened up the door for Stetson Bennett. He ended up the backup, so he decided, let's head to West Virginia, where last year he was the starter. 4-6, guiding the Mountaineer offense, throwing for over 2,100 yards, and now he has found a home here at Rice. And he talked about his relationship with Mike Bloomgren and the offensive coordinator, Marcus Tuiasosopo. Those two had really been in contact with him, not just in the high school period as far as recruiting goes, but each time he hit the transfer portal, and the opportunity to play in a pro-style offense is really what brought him to Houston.
Well, when I think of that, what gets lost in translation is his ability to pick up offenses year after year. That's what you're going to have to do to go into the NFL. You're going to have to be able to adapt and pick up the nuances of an offense very, very quickly. Now, he's done that one more time here for Rice because, again, to your point, Sean, it is a pro-style offense, and he's been able to get in there, be cerebral, and be that field commander that he's been through the first 5 games of the year.
Such a leader, and he just talks about the appreciation he has not just for Bloomgren and these coaches, but for the players to accept him. And he showed some guts last week, his durability playing through the pain, and again for the second straight week, even though he's not fully healthy, he is getting the job done.
Well, if you look at this, Jelani Stafford is one of the top defensive linemen in the country, but he can also double on offense as well, scoring touchdowns last week. And Jackson Mitchell, I think, is one of the top linebackers in the country. He was on the Abacus Award watch list a year ago.
First down from the 47. Again, this quick passing game working. Dean Connors with the catch. Connors on the UConn side of the field, brought down at the 47.
Well, that's what this offense does, Sean. It's just taking what the defense gives you, and when you get to the pro level, you better be able to check it down, and that's what JT Daniels is doing. That check down is really the security blanket for any quarterback, and especially when they have a two-horse tight end, if you will. That's where you've got to just throw it to where the defense is not, make them come up and have to tackle your skilled players in the open space.
Real solid start for Daniels, 7 of 8. Now he'll take a shot downfield, wide open. First down and then some, up to the 22-yard line, and they are just picking apart this defense as we get our first look at Luke McCaffrey, his team-leading 24th catch this year.
Here it is, play-action pass. Just sells the linebacker enough for them to step up and clear up that middle part of the defense. That's a good read by JT Daniels. That defense trying to trick up the coverage in the back end. And you're looking at one of the top athletes. I think McCaffrey has been phenomenal in his career. You're talking about quarterbacks. He's a former quarterback that made the transition to wide receiver. It's a natural transition. I've done it. And you can see the fruit come to fruition here for the Rice Owls.
Yeah, we did it quite well in your time, both quarterback and receiver. Yards after contact in this running game for Rice. Where did this come from as Ari Broussard barrels his way close to another first down? Keep in mind, this is an Owl rushing attack that have 1 net yard in the loss to USF, and not much better last week. 20 carries, 37 yards against the Pirates.
I thought I did my math wrong when I looked at that, Sean. So yeah, I had to double take that. But coming into overall, they're only 2.5 yards rushing per game. And you talk to Coach Bloomgren, look at the yards there on your screen. You talk a little bit. He wants to run the football, but the way they matured and progress in the passing game with JT Daniels, you got to go with worse. And right now, it's the passing game.
They'll put some air to it, back of the end zone, and it's knocked away. Good job that time by the West Virginia transfer. That's Mumu Benwahad, able to get a hand in as they were looking for McNeil.
Yeah, that's a good decision there. Tuiasosopo finding the matchup, second and short. Yes, why not? Let's be aggressive. Let's attack this defense. Good coverage on the outside. And even if you don't complete that, Sean, look what you're left with. You're left with a manageable third down. And here they go with a heavy set. They flip-flop this offensive line here.
Couple of tight ends, an extra tackle. Their big back, it's Broussard, and he will move up to first down yardage, but there is a flag on the far side of the field, so we'll hold and see what the call is.
A lot of times that might be an illegal formation.
Offsides. That's Colin McCarthy, the backup defensive end. So first down, and the Owls are threatening once again late here in this first quarter.
Yeah, here we go. And this is where teams have to be good. When they get inside this red zone, now Rice has been fairly solid this year, right at about 90% red zone offense, but that's including field goals. They want to be good with touchdowns, and this is where you've got to really take a good stand here if you're this Huskies defense.
Neal and Walker split right. That's McCaffrey in motion at the bottom of the screen. First and goal from the 9. Daniels will check down out of the backfield, making the catch. Broussard in space. And he is shadowed out of bounds. Good pursuit defense. That time coming from Lee Mollett, making his first start of the year for the injured Malik Dixon-Williams.
And that's a pretty good defensive play by Chris Sheeran. He didn't initially make that tackle, Sean, but he was able to make Broussard have to bounce out, do a little stutter step, and then that allowed the defense to get him down.
Rotating running backs for Rice. Otoviano back into the game. He flanks Daniels to the left. JT Daniels, very effective, 9 of 11. There's Otoviano looking for number 2, and he is in. Touchdown, Rice.
That's a good, tough, inside run by Otoviano. That is a statement run right there, Sean.
Second rushing touchdown for Otoviano today here in this first quarter, the 6th-year player. And this rushing attack for the Owls already up to 64 yards on the ground in this first quarter. They haven't had that in 3 games combined coming into this afternoon.
Inside run here. Look at the offensive lineman. They're going upfield looking for guys to block. And when you see an offensive lineman doing that, and this running back running the physical nature that he has, there's not much that Huskies defense can do at that point there.
First quarter here for Rice. We talked about it earlier. These two teams with the bye next week. Obviously for the Rice Owls, a chance to go to 4-2. Mike Bloomgren talked about how important this game was and really where it fit in nicely. Their bye week, kind of the halfway point of the season. They get to heal up a little bit because after this one today, it's nothing but American foes, their first inaugural run through the American Athletic.
Yeah, and you know, there's really no secret sauce to those bye weeks. Coaches will take them wherever they can get it, and I think it's at the perfect point, kind of midway through the season. You kind of know what you have, and to your point, get guys healthy, but this team has been awfully good in the first quarter this year, outscoring opponents 62-13. And so far, so good in this first quarter, Sean, as that trend continues.
It's a real good D-line when you look at these teams, and in particular Rice. For more on that, let's swing it down to Smacker.
Sean, not only is it a talented D-line, it's also a very smart D-line. All 5 of their starters are in the MBA program. They started school this week. We talked to defensive end Coco Coleman, and he said that Cedric Calhoun, the D-line coach, was outstanding at preparing the D-line. He said they study opponents' tendencies. They really know what they're going against, and he said it makes the physical aspect of the game 10 times easier.
Yeah, he says when you talk X's and O's with some of those other guys up front, in particular Isaiah Floyd, you better know what you're doing. He says the film studies are incredible, and that's been the big adjustment for him and something that he has certainly relished by way of his performance, not only physically, but the mental part of this sport. All right, UConn down a couple of scores as this first quarter winds down. Not much has went their way offensively. Very conservative quarter. Roberson 3 of 4 throwing the ball. They have not been able to establish a running game whatsoever. See if they can get one more snap off, and they will not. So that is going to be it here for quarter number 1. Rice looking to stay perfect here at home. Salute to Military Day here at Rice Stadium. The quick passing game, a couple of rushing touchdowns from Otoviano. This defense pitching the shutout. All Rice after 1.
Desmond Howard, here to see my college football.
Night triple header on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
LD McLean, Smacker Miles down on the field. Sean Kinney welcoming you back to Rice Stadium here, South Main, on a Saturday. Beautiful afternoon for football, and certainly it was that way as UConn tries to get something started. And this is a promising note as they're able to get it to their tight end, Justin Jolie, just the second first down for the Huskies. And on that last play, an injured out.
Looks like Clay Wyatt. Good to see him bounce up on his own power.
It's an important position in the Rice defense when you look at the Viper. It's a hybrid linebacker, safety top. Trayshawn Chamberlain played it so well for many years here, and this is Wyatt's first go with the Viper, and he's really finding some comfort as far as repetitions, and they really like his direction over the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. You know, Wyatt played safety last year, right? So now that transition pretty seamless. But they didn't get back in this defense here.
UConn with a first down from the 45-yard line. Stumbling off to the handoff was Rosa, and he gets 2 or 3 yards. Chris Conti, the transfer, second year here at Rice out of Rutgers, in on the tackle.
And what the Huskies have to realize that, hey, you're only down 2 scores. You can't get it all on one play. You look at the trends there so far. They've done some good things offensively, Sean. The Huskies, we saw the ability to pass the ball. Their key is to stay as far ahead of the chains as they possibly can to get out of those third and long situations where this defense can pretty much do anything they want on the back end, and they can also bring pressure.
So Rice averaging close to 9 yards per play. Ironically, 10 yards per touch on the ground. So they're getting more yards on the ground than through the air as far as the touches. Rosa just kept stretching the play wide. Going upfield, they push on to the Rice side of the field for the first time.
Now, he's quietly been a nice, solid running back in the backfield for the Huskies. He's 51st in the FBS in yards per attempt, and that's not a stat that you can just kind of slide off, right? That's a big deal. They can rely on him, and he's right at about 5.4 yards per carry. That's a good thing that the play caller can have in their back pocket when they need to be bailed out. And you look there, it gets them to a third and short here.
Look who's in the game, the hero from last week, Jelani Stafford, the big back. He's a decoy here. They run that jet sweep. This is Rosa trying to get to the outside. A flag flies. He is hit by Morrison. Let's see what the flag is.
A lot of team speed on that defense. That play looked really good from our point of view, Sean. I thought he was going to easily get that, but the speed of the out.
They have had some untimely penalties here in the first half.
Here it is, jet motion to get it to Rosa. Can he get to the edge? There's the hold right there. Yep, there it is. Pretty easy call in the open field by the officials. And, you know, this team averages about 6.8 penalties per game. And it's not a big stat if you're right around 7 penalties a game. It's sometimes the timing of them, right? And the holding one is the big one of them all, I think, besides a personal foul. That's 10 yards going back the other way. And now, just when you had a third and short shot where you feel like you can pretty much call any play in your playbook, now you've got to go to that back page on these third and 12, third and 13 type plays here to get a conversion.
And this offense right now, where it is, just not designed for these third and longs.
Yep.
They go empty set, 3 receivers right, 2 at the bottom. The Owls will bring a linebacker on a blitz. Roberson gets rid of it near side. Pass is caught, tackled immediately. That's Kevin Clarcias with the catch. Trayshawn DeVone's the stop, and a decision now. What do you think? 4th down coming up, down 14 at midfield if you're Jim Moore.
Yeah, I think you still got to punt this ball away. A lot of football left to be played. And Roberson, I think that play was supposed to go to the top side of the field. He didn't feel comfortable with the covers that he saw and decided to go backside, and that play never really had a chance. But to your question, Sean, I think you punt this ball away, give your defense a chance to settle in, see if they can get a stop here.
Caritan will try to pin him deep. High kick spiraling inside the 20. Good job here by the Arkansas transfer, George Caritan. And Rice will have it deep in their own end. A 36-yard punt. The Owls in control here in the first half.
With the Home Depot app, the tools to keep the job.
ESPN is presented by It's Game On in St. Pete, Clearwater, proud supporter of the American and home to America's best beaches. Find all the action you're looking for at visit stpete.clearwater.com. Feels like a beach day today here in South Maine. Temperature in the 80s. Yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous weather. Dangerous pass, and that one broken up. Good read there as Durante Jones, split second maybe from providing that spark that UConn desperately needs.
That's outstanding coverage. It's an outstanding recognition of the play, too, by Jones to come up and hit him there.
Rice has been dynamite in the first quarter this year. They have now scored on 11 of their 15 first quarter possessions over the last 5 games. The 76 first quarter points, already surpassing the entire total from a year ago, and this is an offense with Lundgren and Tuiasa Soko that like to script the first 20 plays each and every day. Trouble, ball is loose, and it's picked up by UConn near the goal line. Daniels lost it, recovered by Jelani Stafford, who just has a nose for the football.
Boy, I'm telling you. Hey, but give credit to Bryce Yates, number 90. He's the defensive end. He's one-on-one on the outside, and he stayed on his track. And watch him come past JT Daniels here. And he does that swipe right at the end, and that was enough for his teammate Stafford to pounce on it. That's why you punt the ball, Sean, and we had that decision because now you let your defense play. Let them get their sea legs because they can come up and do something like this. Now you got a chance here to really tilt this game back the other way with this offense inside the 3.
So Stafford, who recovered the fumble, now comes back onto the field to play offense, and what UConn used last week out of that Grizzly package, 5 carries, 11 yards. He had a couple of touchdowns, plus, he just caught a pass out of the backfield as well. So he has done it all, and now with a fumble recovery, he is part of the Grizzly set as they go first and goal. But first, they are going to take another look at it upstairs.
And by the way, did we say Jelani Stafford is 6 foot, 300 pounds too? Can I just also throw that in? That's not natural for a player that size to be that agile and to be so in tune with the offense that they feel like he's a weapon to put him in the backfield.
And he's clearly a player that Mora certainly trust in these short yardage critical situations. Now he had some running back history. As you take another look, and this is what they're taking a look at upstairs.
I think Daniels clearly tucks that ball away and resets. Now, I don't see his arm going forward or anything like that. So I think that's clearly a fumble. Now, here it is. This is a great view here. That's a great shot, guys. And you see that ball coming loose. As we know, college football, all these plays like this can be reviewed. Any kind of illegal hit, anything like that, these guys are reviewing it so we can get it right.
So no change, just as we thought. The Huskies will have it first and goal. You see Nick Charlton in the center of that huddle. He's the young offensive coordinator Jim Moore brought in, had some success at Maine at the FCS level.
I mean, if I'm this defense, I'm looking to where 97 is, right? Because everything is going to go through the big fella on this offense. And if I'm this defense, I am cheating to whatever side he's on.
Couple of tight ends to the right, a tight end to the left. Stafford and Rosa in the backfield. It is Rosa behind a big block from Stafford, and Rosa denied the goal line, about a yard shy. Good defense there by Morrison, and Green standing up, the sophomore out of Bristol.
Now that formation basically is just to see what the defense, what adjustments are they going to make. We can get our pad level underneath the defensive lineman, but this time the D-line wins because their pad level is actually underneath that O-line, and that's why you don't get that push. This is typically your second and goal, Sean. You'd like to see a play-action pass and get the quarterback out on the edge.
Stafford out of the traditional eye, the fullback. He will get his first touch. He tried to go airborne, and he bounces to the outside and scores. yards. Oh my goodness. 300 pounds up in the air, stayed on his feet, and bounces wide for 6.
I mean, there's just something about that not right. I mean, this guy here, first of all, he leaps, okay? He's 300 pounds, but then he keeps going, and just like he was Barry Sanders or somebody, fleet-footed, and goes back the other way for a touchdown. That's pretty impressive for your defensive lineman, your starting defensive lineman, mind you. Uh-oh.
Trouble on the snap for the point after, and that is going to be trouble. The block PAT. So we'll see if that comes back to haunt UConn. Boy, what a series. Jelani Stafford able to get the fumble recovery. It set it up. Yates the strip, and then the big guy finishes it. Can't score via the air, goes back to his feet. The Huskies on the board.
Ford. You see the name driving down almost every road.
Feel like they can impact this game, and really credit to this defensive staff for, hey, saying sticking to it. See if they can do it again here.
Stafford was actually a running back in his high school days, a California area, so he knows how to handle a football. And speaking of knowing how to run with the football on the return, great job there by the Rice Owls. Quentin Jackson, a guy that they're keeping an eye on, continuing to get more and more reps, making an impact with the 48-yard return.
Yeah, here you go. To run the kicking game, to run to be a returner, you got to have instincts. You got to be fearless. And this time, no nonsense. He goes straight north, right up the field. And that's how you get the momentum back on your side. Special teams has to do their part, setting the offense up here. Pretty good field position pending the penalty here.
Yeah, late penalty, and it's going to be against UConn as well, so they're going to tack on some additional yards after this return. So great starting position for the Rice Owls.
This offense, they like to run a lot of plays. He had 69 plays against Texas Southern, 70 plays against South Florida, 73 plays in that overtime win, double overtime against Houston this year. They were at 470 yards in that game.
The starting position of the day, they're going to swing it out, try to set up that screen. Couple of blockers up ahead. It's the tight end again. Gruen with the reception up to the 43-yard line. We talked to JT Daniels yesterday, and he said, you know, we really didn't use the tight end at USC, but boy, I discovered some good tight ends at Georgia, and he really enjoys this part of the pro-style offense where the tight ends are certainly a key.
Absolutely, and they're really the centerpiece of your passing game, because a lot of what the defense is going to do is based more times than not off that tight end. So, yeah, it's a security blanket as well, but yes.
Out in the flat, it was Walker. Let's see if that was a backwards pass. It's picked up by UConn. This is a live football. Scooped up, and this will be taken to the house. Jackson Mitchell, touchdown, UConn.
That's why you keep playing. Now, this play obviously going to be reviewed. Every scoring play will, but I'm telling you, this is why you have to continue to fight. This has been UConn's MO the entire season. Here it is here. It's a lateral pass. And that's why you just got to play. No whistle blown at that point right there, Sean. And that's why Mitchell says, hey, let me pick it up. I'd rather run down here and let the officials make the decision if I can get in here. But I don't think there's going to be any discussion here. We're lining up for our PT here.
Jackson Mitchell, they call him Mr. Connecticut. He's been playing football since the 3rd grade, the unquestioned leader of this defense. Coming off a 15-tackle game last week, comes up with the impact play.
And here it is. Is that ball drifting back? Yes, it is. It's drifting back, so that's just like a pitch or a handoff or anything like that. So, yes, great call by the officials. And then great awareness by Jackson Mitchell to not leave any doubt out there. Pick it up, scoop, and score. And we got a different ball game.
This is a defense that through the first 4 games really struggling to get takeaways. In fact, just 1 fumble recovery the first 5 games. They have 2 takeaways now in a span of 2 minutes. their third and fourth takeaways on the entire season, so getting a different dimension brought in, and that's what you need when you're trying to get on that winning track for the first time. And they talked about it playing a complete game in all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, you come into this game as a -4 turnover margin. That's 110th in the FBS in that turnover margin, so you had to tilt it back the other way at some point in time, and so far so good in this game today for the Huskies.
Jackson from his 6-yard line. Boy, he is quick. Quentin Jackson up past the 30, dives ahead to the 36-yard line where the kicker Joe McFadden tripped him up. So this game has taken a really bizarre twist. It was all Rice. The Owls felt like they were in control in the first quarter, but here in the second, a couple of turnovers, and just like that, you look up, even though the statistics favor the home team, it's UConn trailing by just 1.
Yeah, and if you look at what the Owls offensively, they've kind of hit a wall here now, and it's all about execution. It's the little things, and there's a kind of a microcosm of what we're seeing down there. The first 3 drives, two touchdowns, a punt, the last two fumbles here.
Daniels looking left, now comes back right, checks down, and this one dropped by Odobiano.
You know, when you look at this offense too, Sean, now you're starting to see drop passes. You're starting to see them be a little bit out of sync. And the first couple of drives, there was a flow to it, right? You mixed in some runs. You know, JT Daniels had time to pass. Now the defense has flipped it. Coach Moore and his staff says, okay, let's make our in-game adjustments, which is really so difficult to do at any level, really. And credit to that staff to get these Huskies a little bit of advantage on the defense.
Quick screen again, but boy, reading that and just submarining his way in was Ben Wahad. He's made a couple of plays. He has found his home here at UConn, coming in from West Virginia.
Yeah, they've got a youth movement on that side of the ball. Ben Wahad coming up. The key here is to slip these blocks right there. And if he can slip that, you're going to have a free run to the receiver. This defense playing a little bit ahead of the offense now. That's what they needed to put this offense behind the chains. And this is where this defense, now you have the advantage. You can bring pressure. You can play coverage. It just depends on what you like matchup-wise defensively.
Looks like they'll do coverage here. They rush only 3, drop 8 into coverage. Some work to do on the drag route up to the 40, and a good open field tackle is made. McNeil holds it in, but that was Damon Brinson. A lot of space, able to bring down the big tall target.
Yeah, that's Sean. That's what you want, right? You want him to get rid of the ball, and they played coverage in behind. Now you just got to make the tackle, and here we are, 3 consecutive defensive stands by the Huskies, and now this offense has another opportunity to take the lead in this game.
Saw the frustration on the Rice sideline. That was their offensive coordinator, Marcus Tuiasosopo, a little heated with his quarterback, JT Daniels.
Telling you what, if I'm a quarterback and my coordinator is Marcus Tuiasosopo, I think I don't have anything to say. I think I'm gonna listen to my OC there.
A lot of passion with Tuiasosopo. There's some passion right now with UConn. They're back in it, down a point.
It's an opening night triple header on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Prior to today, the second quarter has been abysmal for UConn and Coach Jim Moore, but they have turned the tide here at Rice. 13 second quarter points. They were outscored 61-10 through the first 5 weeks, and it's been the defense, the takeaways that have certainly allowed them to reverse that trend, at least for today.
Hey, when you play on the road, there's no award for style points. You will take it any and every way you can get it.
RPO here from Roberson. It's a short pass. Jolie, the tight end, makes the catch. A gain of 4 up to the 37.
Yeah, it's a high percentage play there, as Roberson really didn't have anywhere to go with that ball. Pretty well defended by the Owls defense. And that's sometimes all it takes. It's still a positive game. Now you're set up with 2nd and 6, and it puts a lot of pressure on this defense to have to defend both the run and the pass here.
Good to see Clay Wyatt back out there for Rice defensively. We saw him get banged up earlier in the half. Second down and 6. This will be Edwards over the right side. Cam Edwards, the sophomore from Norwalk High School in Connecticut. He was on the defensive side of the football to start this year. They made the switch. Mora had flirted with the idea last year of getting him back on the offensive side of the football, and then with the departures of Devontae Houston and Brian Bruton, it became obvious that they were going to need Edwards to provide some depth to Rosa.
Yeah, they just need to find some kind of way to infuse the run game back in this offense. They're barely at 2 yards a rush here this afternoon, and that puts a lot of pressure on your quarterback to have to make a play here on third down. Now, 3rd and 4 is a lot better than 3rd and 10, so they've got a chance here still.
Both teams struggling on third downs in this first half. Delayed blitz, picked up, high throw, caught. Joe Lee hauls it in. Terrific concentration, not a lot of room for error there. That was Wyatt, who was all over Joe Lee, yet the sure-handed tight end hauls it in.
I mean, the ball placement here is off the charts by Roberson. This is a big-time throw here by your quarterback, and like you said, Sean, the coverage was outstanding, and I almost think Jolie is not necessarily a tight end. I think he's just a big receiver, and that's going to be a matchup problem, for this defense here, I think, the rest of this game, because his size and his wide receiver ability and ball skills, you saw it there, can be a real big issue for this defense.
They tighten up the formation, 3-back set. Again, Roberson, same play that started this drive. It's a short dump off to Joe Lee, and there is Clay Wyatt again, the team's top tackler through the first 5 games.
Yeah, you look at Wyatt. I mean, again, he played safety a year ago. So anything that's going to be strung out, anything that he can use his feet and instincts to get to the ball carrier or receiver, he's going to eat it up. And you saw it there. And you look at Roberson, sometimes the pass that you don't make is the best pass. He probably should have just thrown that to the sideline. Said that ended up being a negative play there.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Keep an eye on that clock as we approach 5 minutes in the second quarter. Rosa with a nice plant step gets to the outside. One of the rare positive rushes for UConn. Good step there by Rosa to set it up, and this will bring up a manageable 3rd down.
That's this offensive line. We hadn't talked much about our All-American this game. You saw big number 64, Haynes. He's getting out in front. Got Chase Lund on the other side as well. That's a good job. That's the first time in this game, Sean, they've had some running lanes and some room. Back to this magical down again where they've got to be better. This team came in at 40% 3rd down conversion. That was 9th in all of FBS.
They stay with Rosa on the ground, and he will move the sticks. A 1st down up to the 41-yard line. Victor Rosa, it's the two-headed dragon in the backfield. Both Connecticut guys. Edwards from Norwalk High School, Rosa from Bristol.
Good push there by this offensive line. And you talk about the offensive line a little bit lighter than what we've talked about on Rice's side. They're about 297 pounds per man, and you're starting to see Rosa get back up there again. He's well underneath his average per carry. You saw there at 3.3. But they've got to stick to it, and sometimes as an offense, you got to have those dirty runs to start the game out, but you contend to have to run the ball, and it opens up a little bit later.
Roberson, for the first time, is going to take a shot. Has a receiver out there. Caught. Touchdown, UConn. It's Cam Ross.
How about that? Wow. My goodness. That pass was on the money. Well, let's see what happened. Okay, we've got a great pass protection up front, and Roberson just stands in there, a clear pocket, and he just tried to throw it as far as he can. And you saw Cam Ross run right underneath that with a defender hanging on him. And that's a thing of beauty. 6 points Huskies.
UConn has already had 1 point after blocked, and now a penalty on this extra point. So that'll back up Joe McFadden 5 more yards. What a throw by Roberson.
And I think they just caught the defense sleeping. Everything has been underneath, but this time they set it up well. And man, that thing there was placed about as good as you can throw it, Sean. And Cam Ross just hung on to it.
20 unanswered by the Huskies. Utah State scored late, and then the heartbreaking point after, which was blocked, which cost them the game and an opportunity. But down 14 on the road here, no quit. They get a couple of takeaways, and next thing you know, they finally get that offense to go big play.
I'm telling you, they were trending in the right way, and this is not your typical 0-5 team coming into this week's game. And you know, you talked about the offense. You know, they had season highs in that game last week, obviously, points, attempts in the rushing game, yards, you name it. And here they are on the road. It typically bands teams together, and that brotherhood is coming to fruition here so far.
Otoviano on first down with a couple of yards. So Rice with all 3 timeouts, plenty of time, 3.5 to go until halftime, and this becomes a critical drive all of a sudden. The Rice offense that had 152 yards, 14 points through the first 15 minutes, but here in the second quarter, -3 yards, a couple of turnovers. Important now for the experience of JT Daniels to kind of quiet the storm that's happening here. Pre-snap shifting both ways, 2nd and 7. UConn brings 3, and I'm not sure they got the snap off in time.
There's like a timeout on the defense. Yeah, the official on the far sideline signaling timeout.
So UConn is going to use the timeout. And when you look at this Husky defense, that they played so well last week, and Coach Moore talked about 4 breakdowns in that game with Utah State, and they have one of those breakdowns at the end of the first half, which really gave the Aggies some confidence. So you can bet that timeout, they want to make sure everybody's on the same page against this pass-happy offense from Rice.
Yeah, I agree. And look at that stat there, 20 yards by quarter. That's incredible. I can't remember last time I've seen something quite like that, where a game just kind of flipped on its head all of a sudden in a matter of a couple of plays. Because again, it was the defense really getting the thing turned around, and this offense just kept chopping away at it, and we saw their explosiveness on the last possession. And now you're up 6 points, and the mood has all changed, for lack of words, and this defense is playing at a different level right now, and it's got the Owls offense kind of a little bit on their heels.
So after the timeout, 2nd and 7 from the 36. They will hand the ball off. This is Ari Broussard, the 5th-year senior from New Orleans, tackled by Fomina Brown.
Well, typically when your offense gets out of rhythm, if you can get up into a quicker pace, get into a hurry-up mindset, that will magically, a lot of times, can put your offense back into a rhythm. And I'm a little bit shocked the tempo is still slow here, as if they're up 6, trying to protect the lead going into half. I would have thought they picked it up a little bit here. Still got a chance here on 3rd and 3.
Let's see if they give McCaffrey a target. 3 catches in this first half. Ransom Goals, the talented freshman, one-on-one coverage at the bottom of the screen. They're looking that way. Instead, they settle with the drag, and this will be a first down catch, and then just shucking the defender away. This is the big back Broussard. Boy, he was willing his way up to midfield, threw a defender to the side, and a first down for Rice. But keep in mind, the clock not stopping quite yet on that first down until we get inside 2 minutes.
First of all, it's a great job by this offensive line. The Huskies bring pressure. JT Daniels stands tall in there, and Broussard releases out of the backfield. Here it is, field level look. He stands in there, just dumps it out to the running back and let him win his one-on-one against a pretty good backer there, and Jackson Mitchell.
A couple of catches for Broussard in this first half. And now this is Otoviano zigzagging his way up to the 42-yard line. Jackson Mitchell, the tackle. Again, Rice with all 3 timeouts. LD, you brought it up. Not a lot of urgency right now on the offensive side.
Now you're getting to where you really got to start playing a little bit quicker here. You're under a minute and a half before the half is even out. So you got to go here.
Empty set. Connors makes the catch. 40, 35. Connors tightrope in the far side. Stepped out of bounds at the 33. It's a gain of 9 and a first down, plus clock stops as he's able to get out of bounds.
Yeah, this is a nice play design here, as it's a good read by JT Daniels. It puts a lot of stress on this defense to have to defend sideline to sideline. Again, Dean Connors, such a versatile back in the backfield. I told you early in the game, his ability to catch the passes out of the backfield will put a lot of hurt on this defense.
Daniels made sure on that last throw that it was a forward pass. That was a similar type play, which he threw it behind the line of scrimmage and was the scoop and score for Mitchell.
Oh, the empty set in the backfield created some confusion, Sean, by the Huskies. They had to burn another timeout.
Second timeout taken by Connecticut, both times on this drive defensively.
That was the first time you saw an empty look in the backfield by Rice, and that really caused some confusion, and rightfully so. Burn a timeout. You don't want to give up a cheap one here before half.
Rice coming into this game 3-2. Victories over Houston, Texas Southern, and then last week their first American Athletic Conference win, knocking off East Carolina. It's a new era for Rice football as they join the American, their fourth conference since the Owls joined the Southwest. Back in the 1915 season, stayed in the Southwest Conference all the way through 95, then to the WAC Conference USA before making the move into the American. And Mike Bloomgren talked about it. He says this team is better than last year, but the unknown is jumping into the waters of the American.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the American. How many teams, and especially when Cincinnati was in there for years, you know, they were the team going and competing at the next level in the big bowl games in the college football playoffs, and you just don't know. It's a new conference. All these teams seem to be equal. It's been a fun year so far.
They rush 3. Daniels is going to dance to the outside, and he'll just pick up a couple of yards, and that's an area that they're going to try to protect JT Daniels, the lower leg injury. He's practiced only once in the last couple of weeks.
You can just tell he is a gamer. And sometimes when you have something nagging you, you're going to have something that's going to hurt throughout the year anyway, right? And now you'll let adrenaline take over, and sometimes that's a number to your body. You just play. You just turn it loose. And you can see there his ability just to make a football play to keep this drive going.
Connors and McCaffrey both split to the top on this empty set. 2nd and 7, inside a minute to go. Plenty of time, and again, that drag route underneath. This is Kobe Campbell, the speedster. Just his 5th catch of the season, but it's another chain mover and a first down for Rice.
Yeah, you got to cover 2 look. Middle of the field is going to be wide open, and there's your decoy. When you have the tight end go over the middle, eliminate one of those safeties, and then you're dragging the receiver across. Good read, good patience again by JT Daniels and the offensive lineman to allow that play to develop.
7th play of this drive. Rice still with all 3 timeouts inside the red zone.
And they're going to get man coverage, single high safety. He's going to just find the best matchup he wants here.
Daniels will take a shot. A lot of contact along the far sideline. Incomplete. They were trying to free up Ross and McNeil, who's pleading his case, and now there is a flag.
This is going to be I think this is going to be interesting. I think this might be some defensive holding in that secondary.
There was a lot of contact both over the middle and along that far side where they were trying to hit McNeil. So interference the call, and it's going to be Benwahat.
Yeah, he would have been okay, but it was that initial check at the line of scrimmage, and then he kind of pulled the receiver down just a little bit, McNeil. And he was outside, obviously, the gray area there, 4 or 5 yards. Pretty good call there by the officials.
Personnel changes. 5th penalty in this first half against UConn, and now Rice really knocking on the doorstep. Both Connors and Otoviano in the game. They will flank Daniels left and right. First and goal from the 10. JT Daniels, pressure up the middle, gets away, throws, and it's caught. Otoviano at the 4 as Daniels sidestepped the pressure. And a quick timeout taken by the Owls.
Man, that's outstanding pocket awareness. Here it is. You can put this on JT Daniels' highlight. Pressure up the middle is the quarterback's worst enemy, but he sidestepped a pretty good player in Stafford, keeps his eyes upfield, which is the key. This is a great look here. Looking right in the teeth of that defense, just kind of slivers away, just enough to get it out to the flat to his running back. It's a big-time play. That you can coach that all you want, Sean, and you can try to simulate that in practice, but there's nothing like it in the game. And those quarterback instincts for JT Daniels makes him a very good prospect at the next level.
Daniels in this first half, 16 of 20 for 139 yards. He's hit his last 6 passes. Working Rice down the field, managing the clock really well. We are second and goal. You still have a couple of timeouts, so you can even try a running play here. They've scored twice on the ground with Otoviano.
Yeah, I think you treat this just like any moment in the game, right? It's what's your best 2-point conversion play? What are your best inside the 5-yard line type plays? We got a full house backfield in the backfield here.
Chase Jenkins, the true freshman, this guy can make a lot of plays with his feet, and he will try to get something started, but you saw that left side of the offensive line about a split second early with their surge.
Yeah, and I'm always leery of that when you switch quarterbacks and you bring them in the moment like that. Every quarterback's cadence is different. They're different from one quarterback to the next. This offensive lineman has been hearing JT Daniels for really pretty much 2 quarters. Then you mix it up with somebody else. You're going to get that every single time. And that's unfortunate, too, because, man, I think they had a pretty good play on there.
Jenkins has been a touchdown machine, the freshman from Katy, Texas, but he will exit stage right after the penalty, and now Daniels back in. These end-of-half situations always so critical for the outcome, especially in a pretty even first half. 3 receivers right, play clock down to 2. Daniels looking over the middle, nothing there. Now he's hit, the ball is loose, and it's still rolling free. Body's jumping, and it's going to be Rice who pounces on it at the 11. Boy, the Huskies had a couple of chances to grab that loose ball.
Boy, that was almost detrimental. The ball security there, a little bit loose, but the pressure one more time again as Eric Watts gets in there and knocks that thing loose. But that was almost catastrophic to Rice there because, man, they're thinking, hey, we're going in and scoring a touchdown, and they almost gave that football back the other way.
Big hit, the sack by Watts, which knocked the ball loose, but it was Jack Bradley, the tight end, who was able to jump on it, saving the possession for Rice, and now calling their second timeout.
Yeah, and that's the difference of championship football, and you're just trying to find your way here. You get the ball inside the 5-yard line. Those top teams across the nation punch that thing in, right? But you had a negative play. You had the false start. Then you had a ball that comes loose by your quarterback, and now you're just trying to make sure you get something out of this. Yeah, that's a great play. You see Eric Watts there, just kind of bend over and knock it away. Like you're trying to keep a toy away from a little kid or something like that.
Watts led this UConn defense last year with 7 sacks. He said he wanted to double that number this year. He certainly is a guy that could be playing on Sundays in the future.
Yeah, he's an athletic freak, 6'5", 277 pounds.
Rice moving the wrong way. 3rd down and goal from the 10. Trips right. Play fake Daniels looking right. Nothing open. Has time. Still looking. Now zips it back of the end zone. Nothing there. Incomplete. Good coverage by the secondary. There is a flag down along the near side.
What a job on the back end by this Huskies secondary. That's a long time to cover. Now they weren't playing a zone, and you had about 6-7 guys in coverage. Nowhere to go with the ball. many times have we seen that? When this quarterback holds the ball that long, these offensive linemen, they get in no man's land. They have that count going off in their head, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. That ball should have been gone anyway. And when a quarterback extends a play, you're going to get that. And how about this defense of the Huskies coming up with timely stops and forcing a field goal attempt? That's a heck of a job there by this Huskies D.
Saw that flag, illegal man downfield, so that sets up the field goal by Horn. 29-yard field goal attempt, and now it will be a timeout taken by UConn. Yeah, you look at this defense for the Huskies. First and goal, Rice had it down at the 4-yard line. They change quarterbacks. They bring in Jenkins, which that package has worked this year, but you get the penalty, pushes it back, and then the big play from Watts on the strip sack, and the next thing you know, it's a goal line stand for the Huskies.
And it's just the little things that is biting them right now for Rice. You know, the turnovers. You know, JT Daniels got to protect the ball a little bit better inside and traffic in the pocket. Here it is here, just standing, looking, and here comes Eric Watts right there. He just swats it away.
Tim Horn on for this field goal attempt. 29 yards, Horn this year, 3 for 6. This to make it a field goal deficit for the Owls. Placement down, kicking away, and it's no good.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
What a second quarter by Mora's Huskies on the road.
Yeah, how about that, right? I mean, just when you think these Huskies, they might not even make it out of the first quarter, and just like that, a couple of plays here and there, and winning plays are contagious, and that's what the Huskies are doing here. And I'm telling you, it's something about going on the road. It's you against the world, and you band together. And this defense has changed the mood of this game. They've changed the outlook of it here, at least in this first half, turning everything back into the favor of the Huskies.
20 unanswered by UConn. They get a couple of takeaways. The short touchdown run by their two-way player, their big
after JT Daniels,
fullback,
and then the offense
Stafford.
came in and made the play.
Roberson hits really the only deep shot he's taken
solid
in the entire first half.
Roberson.
9 of 10 for 103 yards, the long touchdown pass, and they will try to get this running game started as the Huskies take it up near the 30-yard line. And just go back to that second quarter, and man, what a quarter it was. It all started with this strip sack by Yates, Stafford the recovery, and then the big guy was able to finish it.
Yeah, he was able to finish it off, and that just shows you that, hey, it doesn't matter who's going to come up and make the play. Somebody make the play, and this defense, I thought, was opportunistic. They got after plays, and here's a heads-up play by the linebacker that, hey, I'm going to pick it up, I'm going to go score, and Jackson Mitchell doing exactly that. It's the little things that made the difference to give these guys the lead.
Cam Edwards is taken down high. Good job flying to the football. That's Chris Conti. Talked about the Rutgers transfer. Had a strong game last week. 7 tackles against the Pirates, and now a third down here on this opening possession of the second half.
This drive started off promising. They were able to get a nice gash running the ball with Cam Edwards, and then you get a second down play that didn't really go anywhere. They've got a 3rd and 5, but once again, I talk about downs being manageable. This is a manageable down and distance. It goes in favor of the offense. Got to execute the game plan here.
5 receivers. Roberson, pressure up the middle, throws off his back foot. Too tall, incomplete. He felt the pressure that time right up the middle, forced him to get rid of it before he wanted to. And for Rice, they forced the quick 3 and out.
That's a great job. Brian Smith, the defensive coordinator, saying, okay, I'm not going to sit here and just play coverage. I want to bring a little bit of a different look, bring some heat, get this quarterback off his spot. And you can do that, Sean. The pass will go outside and off the mark. And this defense got a chance to get off the field now.
Just the second incomplete pass thrown by Roberson tonight. Caratan on the punt. Sean Fresh awaiting the kick back at the 25. Here comes Rice, and they nearly got to it. The punter goes down. Flags fly. Fresh has the ball bounce off his chest, and UConn is on top of it at the 42-yard line.
What am I seeing here? I mean, and if I'm UConn, I'm definitely declining this penalty and taking the ball shot.
Domino ended up with it for the Huskies. Rice so close to getting to the punt. Caratan crushed as he just got the kick away, and then the mishandle by Fresh.
Yeah, decline that, take the ball.
Third turnover for the Owls.
Well, I understand what they're trying to do. This Huskies punt team is the first in the nation in block punts allowed. So yeah, I'm going to try to go after it if I can. But you got to be smart about it, and in the back end of it, Sean, it's a double whammy. And ever since that second quarter, things have seemed to go in favor of the Huskies, and mistake after mistake seem to continue here for the Rice Owls.
So now if you're UConn, it is imperative you take advantage of these situations. On the road, looking for that first win, you get a short porch to work with. Can Roberson and UConn make them pay? They fake left, roll right. Roberson throws. Ross was out there, and he missed him. Cam Ross able to get behind the secondary, and that's a throw Roberson would love to have back.
Yeah, he had him. That's exactly what he wanted. Could have easily thrown it down underneath to Jolie, but the pass was there, and you can just see the mechanics broke down for Roberson there as that shoulder kind of tilted back. And every time a quarterback does that moving, that pass is going to sell 9 out of 10 times. That's a big one there. That's what you want to do. You want to get that instant offense after an exchange or for turnover. You want to go up top and attack this defense.
Rosa off a huge hole off that right side, and he will pick up double-digit yards up to the 28-yard line. A 13-yard gallop for Victor Rosa behind that right side. Christian Haynes at guard. Chase Lunt, the big right tackle.
That's why you got to stick with it. You got to continue to run. Those runs in the first half looked ugly. It was 1 yard. It was 2 yards here and there. But you keep on track with it. This offensive line, lathering up. You run right behind your All-American Christian Haynes, 64, the right guard. Good things will continue to happen, and they stay ahead of the chains. They're on schedule and getting this ball up and down the field here.
Quick throw. Ross with the catch. Has a couple of downfield blockers. That was Valentin Sin, that left tackle for UConn who got upfield.
That's a high percentage play call. Offensive coordinator Nick Charlton. Now he's just trying to figure out, okay, now I've got the down and distance that we need to be. Okay, what's going to be the best opportunity to where I can put some of my skilled players out in open space? And you saw Cam Ross there, the wide receiver screen pass. Nice chunk on first down.
12 personnel, plus they bring in the slot as an extra tight end, but they run to the boundary side, and getting to the outside is Rosa. Another first down burst from Victor Rosa. So they load up the right, they come back to the left. Good seal again by Sin at left tackle.
Yeah, they do the tackle over here. Now you've got an overload to the right, but you run weak, and that puts a lot of pressure on players that don't normally make tackles, and that's talking about Devon's, the cornerback. These guys are out there covering passes. They're not typically coming up and trying to tackle a big physical running back one-on-one.
Offensive coordinator Nick Charlton was the head coach at Maine for 3 years. He appears to have found a little bit of rhythm on this drive, and again, it's the hot hand Rosa over the left side, stumbling his way up near the 10, pick up a 3.
And now you're starting to see the offensive line reestablish the line of scrimmage. And all these teams across the country, you want to be a line of scrimmage team. And when I talk about that, it's the guys in the screen here. And they're led by 64, obviously the All-American. We keep talking about him. But when they can take the line of scrimmage back, now you put pressure on this defense. They don't know what you're doing. You can run the ball when you want, and it sets up play action pass. and it really can attack this defense at all levels.
Tunnel screen action coming back to the ball is Porter, and he will take it down to the 3-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. Actually at the 1. Conti the tackle. Porter with the catch.
Now the execution is getting out there. Now these big guys get out in front. They've been blocking right in front of them. Now you give them a chance to get out in front and pick on some little guys. And you called it right. The tunnel screen almost gets into the end zone. I think this has been a beautiful job here by Nick Charlton. His play calling, mixing it up. Here we go.
The big guy is back in there, and he'll take the more traditional route. Stafford bulldozers his way ahead. They will unsort the pile. No word yet. Touchdown, Stafford, and UConn takes advantage of the special teams play.
How many times have we talked about it? And it's not cliche to say all 3 phases. It is a real thing in football. I've been around teams that have been very good. And all of those teams, we were good at all 3 phases. And the defense sets up, special teams did their part, and the offense says, hey, y'all, I got it from here. Let me punch it in. And that's exactly what the Huskies are doing on the road. And it's pretty impressive here.
Interesting here with the penalty, and it looks like it's going to be on Rice, so this will be half the distance at the 1. Do you try to get that point back that you lost earlier on the block PAT?
I think you do, Sean.
You have the 300-pounder Stafford who's feeling it right now. A couple of touchdowns today, following up his 2 touchdown performance last week. Why not, right?
I think you're playing with house money. You're still up 2 scores right now. Why not go get it? Now, the bad thing about that, Sean, you are going to be chasing points throughout this game no matter what. So we know that. We know with the block field goal, that already sets you back. But, hey, you got a chance here. As mobile as Roberson is, man, I would put a lot of stress on this defense. Play action pass to get him to the top of the screen here.
First 2-point conversion of the year for UConn. Can they convert underneath? They do. Slipping through the arm tackle. It's Jolie, and 28 unanswered for the visitors from Storrs here tonight. Unbelievable turnaround. UConn, they go to their big guy. Stafford for the 2nd time punches it in. The 2-point conversion. UConn feeling it on the road here at Rice.
Those new tiles are falling right into place until you run out of, what are those called again? Oh, right. The Home Depot app is made for doing that doesn't miss a beat. So you can find what you need fast.
Is contagious. This team is creating their own opportunities and then benefiting from his mistakes that you mentioned, Sean, from the Rice Owls. Got another penalty here on this return.
Don't forget, next week we have a busy slate of action on tap for American football fans. SMU heads to East Carolina for a Thursday night matchup, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Friday night it's Tulane and Memphis, 7 o'clock Eastern, ESPN. And then next Saturday, Charlotte hosts Navy, 2 teams desperately searching for a win early on in this conference slate. 2 o'clock Eastern, catch all the action on ESPN+. Rice in a little bit of trouble. Still lots of time, but down 14. JT Daniels will try to restore some order to this offense. The Americans' top passing attack today with 139 yards through the air as they continue to work this short passing game. Braylon Walker with the catch.
Yeah, that picks up a couple of yards. I'm just not a fan of that into the boundary. Here it is. The sideline's an extra defender. And there's really nowhere to catch, run with the ball after you catch it. And that defense pounces on that pretty quickly. I don't think they need to abandon the run just yet. They've really gone to a pass-happy offense, trying to climb back quickly.
On 2nd down, over the middle, back-to-back catches for Walker as he spins up near the 30. Looks like he'll be about Yeah, he's going to be a little shy, setting up a third and less than a yard.
Yeah, this is what JT Daniels is all about. He's really good at that. Standing in the pocket, scanning left, scanning to the middle. If you play zone against him, he will pick you apart. I think they need to continue to bring pressure. It's kind of like what Coach Moore said. Don't allow him to be comfortable. He was way too comfortable on that there. And, Sean, honestly, they're saying it was good enough for a first down.
Yep, they're going to take a couple of looks over at the side. They say move the stick, so a first down for Rice. 8.5 to play in this third quarter. UConn by 14. They go to the ground. Patient run there by Connors. Nothing opened up initially, but he eventually found a little bit of a crevice. Durante Jones from a safety position with the tackle.
Yeah, that's a good call. Now, when you run the ball out of this spread, it's all about the numbers game. Wow, he just made a guy completely whiff on the tackle right there. That's a heck of a run by Dean Connors. But it's all about numbers. You get that too high safety look, more times than not, you need to run the ball. And if you do pass it, the middle of the field will be open.
On second down again. Look at the moves by Connors, and his own player tripped him up just as he was ready to make that cut back to the wide side.
Man, give me some of that. Watch this. Here we go. Put that hit up there, take it away from him. Wow, that's pretty nice there. That's shaking and baking.
Yeah, he was an inch or two away from maybe escaping that last grass reach.
A lot of juice right there in zero. I'm telling you there, he got some moves.
Odoviano back into the game on this first down play. In motion, it's McCaffrey. Series of play fakes. Daniels being pursued, throws off the run, and it's incomplete. Good coverage downfield. They were trying to find McNeil, but just he had nowhere to go. Ben Wahad's been active like he's needed to be. This is a secondary we talked about. Again, for the third straight game, no Armani Archie, the starting corner. Malik Dixon-Williams out, concussion protocol. So they needed some of these players to step up in the secondary.
Yeah, and the Owls were trying to go to the home run there. They were trying to hit Braylon Walker right in the middle of the field, but this secondary, to your point, has stayed home. The discipline is there, and these routes take a long time to develop. He just had nowhere to go with the ball there.
Rice is going to have to hustle up. They had some confusion on the play call coming in. Daniels will take a snap with a second on the play clock, and there is nothing there. Gobbled up at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. And, coming in, we talked about this Rice defensive line, but boy, you look at UConn with Yates and Gordine, Stafford and Watts.
Yeah.
This is the strength of the UConn defense as well.
And you can add Rashawn Wilkins. Watch 93, Sean. He's the one that stalemates this thing right in the middle. And I'm telling you, these guys have changed the tone of the game. We talked about the line of scrimmage being, kind of the game, really. Well, the defensive side of this, they have taken control of the line of scrimmage, and that's why these Owls on offense have struggled.
Line to get is the UConn 49. They run a stunt with three players. Picked up, little hitch, coming back to the ball, making the catch, and then room to run down the side. This is McCaffrey. Makes the defender miss to the 25, all the way up to the 21-yard line. McNeil with the catch, 38 yards, and a first down for Rice.
Well, and you hope McNeil's okay. This is a big-time throw by JT Daniels. He puts it in the only place that his guy can make it. They have man coverage across the board. And if that defensive back misses, then you're going to see the yards after the catch from McNeil. That was probably JT Daniels' best throw of the game to me, but just because of the situation in this offense needing a spark, and he put it in the only place that he could put it.
Lawson McNeil, a little slow getting up, and he is down, so they're going to attend to him. 4 catches tonight for McNeil, 63 yards, and they needed that one. We'll take a break. Third quarter here. Rice on the move, down 14.
How good does it feel when Threshold Decor welcomes more seasonal...
Point, arguably his best throw of the game by Daniels.
Connors on first down, stumbles his way for a yard. Ross and McNeil talked about the arrival of JT Daniels, and It's a really funny story. He grew up in Georgia, Marietta, went to Walton High School, so obviously he was familiar with JT from his days with Georgia. So when he found out via social media that Daniels was coming to Rice, he did all these double, triple checking to make sure it is the JT Daniels from Georgia. And was he ever excited to find out it was?
I'm telling you, I've been excited too.
Those two have certainly found a connection over the last few weeks. They switch McCaffrey, he's the slot, and a timeout going to be taken by Rice. Boy, if you're an Owl, you hate to see that here midway through the third quarter, yet each possession precious, so you want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, you know, getting into the red zone, they've had their ups and downs. You know, they've been able to kick field goals this season, but they need to score touchdowns. That's where they got to be on the same page here. You get close to this red zone.
Look at JT Daniels, the top passer in the American, and he started out really throwing the ball well, that short passing game working.
Well, again, the arm talent jumps off the page when you watch him, but I also look, how's his feet? Well, the footwork is great too. And when you think about decision-making, well, heck, he makes great decisions too, and the accuracy there is really the icing on the cake. I just think he's a complete gamer at the quarterback position. A lot of mental toughness, a lot of physical toughness, complete package back there as QB1.
Really the only thing lacking, he can make every throw in the book, and this is what both coaches talked about. It was the durability. He just hasn't made it through a season healthy, so to battle through this lower leg injury the last couple of weeks, really the next step in his progression. He'll take a shot near side, good coverage, zone defense downfield, nowhere to work that time for McNeil.
Yeah, that would have been a tough pass, and I think JT Daniels knows he probably could have made that one. He was kind of kicking himself on that one, had a receiver open. Yes, it would have been a tough pass because now you've got that underneath defender, which you've always got to be cognizant of, Sean, and you'd rather sell it high than throw it inside in where it could be picked off.
What do you like here on third down?
Well, I think it depends what the safety look is, right? If you get that too high safety as a quarterback, he's got to be thinking, okay, I've got the middle of the field. Now, you need to decide if they're going to play man or coverage here. We got the official talking to us here.
Yeah, it looked like they had trouble marking the football. It had to be readjusted, so they're going to readjust the clock as well.
Yeah, I think here you gotta find out what they're doing on the back end. Are they going to play coverage? They're going to play man. And once you can get that pre-snap read, that more times not, JT Daniels is a good enough quarterback. He's going to know where he wants to go before the ball is even snapped.
See the cushion these corners are giving the Rice receivers on this 3rd down and 9. Ball on the near hash, and they will keep it on the ground with Connors trying to get to the outside, and a good open field tackle. With that shoulder, that is Ben Wahad once again coming in to lend support from corner.
And that might have been a play because they knew they were going to go for it on 4th down regardless. Hey, let's just get some of this yardage back. And that's why you probably see this handoff here. And if Connors can make one more tackle, this could be really interesting, but it sets up 4th down, Sean. And so now you got to go to your best play that you got with 4th and 5, 4th and 6 or more here.
Big play in this football game, even though we're only in the 3rd quarter. Rice needs something here. 4th and 5 inside the red zone. UConn rushes 3. As a result, Daniels with all sorts of time. Eyes downfield, wide open underneath, making the sliding catch, 1st down. McNeil again, and the Owls will have it 1st and goal.
I can't tell you how huge that is right there. That is remarkable. And I think if it's a healthy JT Daniels, he takes off right here. He takes off and run. But he's trusted his arms. He's trusted his receivers just to come back. And the scramble rules apply at that moment in time. It's a great job by McNeil to come back and save his QB.
2 clutch catches on this drive by McNeil. One on 3rd and long, and now on 4th down, McNeil keeps the drive alive. 1st and goal, Rice at the 9. They've been here before. Little touch pass over the middle, and that is a minimal gain. Otoviano with the catch, and he is hammered right away.
That's just good defense, man. They didn't get fooled by all the eye candy in front of them. That's the thing. You've got receivers crossing. you've got a natural pick going on, but they stay home in the discipline there, and you blow up the running back before you even had a chance to do anything.
Fresh wave of defensive linemen check in for UConn. Second down and goal. Broussard, the running back. They go heavy right with the two tight ends. And it will be Broussard with the call. He's met over that left side. Broussard ahead for 3. That's Glenn, the redshirt junior, the transfer from Georgia Southern, and a third down coming up. Boy, UConn is just stubborn inside the 10.
This is a good play by Glenn. He didn't make that. I think that's a touchdown. And a lot of times these linebackers used to be former running backs, so they have the instincts of kind of finding where the holes are, Sean. And you saw Kevin Glenn there, Avon Glenn there, going in there, filling in that lane. That's pretty solid.
Stafford, Gordine, the two interior tackles, Yates and Watts, the two rush ins on this third and goal. We're approaching 2 minutes to play, third quarter. 28 straight for UConn. Rice will try to change it. Daniels throws, caught, touchdown, Owls. McCaffrey hauls it in.
I stand corrected. That might have been the best throw of the game by J.T. Daniels. And it's a thing of beauty. The play action pass sells it. This just allows the route to develop on the back end. And Luke McCaffrey, he came all the way across the back part of the end zone. We used to call that a banana route. He ran a banana route and put the defensive back on his hip. Wasn't a lot of separation, Sean, but it was enough. And J.T. Daniels on the move drops another dime for you.
A monster drive, 14 plays, 80 yards. J.T. Daniels, one of the best arms in the country, showcasing the touch to his favorite target, McCaffrey.
Exclusive rewards. It's the freedom to go. It's a gateway to explore and to do more of what you love. Imagine where the Shields Visa can take you. Join us in discovering endless possibilities. Shields Visa. Together, we've got this.
How good does it feel when Threshold Decor welcomes more seasonal style for less? When you can save on Good and Gather groceries and all the fall flavors. And when quality ingredients bring more to the table. When you get low prices on the latest trends. When rewards come with quality and coziness. And when you're serving up taste they love at low prices. That's totally Target.
We want a trimmed tree and an unfractured coccyx. Sadly, we can't have it all, except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips.
I'm not one of those players that can kind of just sit back and enjoy the ride. I'm always trying to find an edge, always breaking down the film, always trying to get better for the next game. UFOS is one of those things that I take value in. And when I'm done with the game, I put my UFOS on. I'm making a conscious effort to recover. The quicker you can recover, the quicker you can be back out there playing 100%. UFOS definitely helped me recover faster.
Lowe's knows to expect the unexpected. So when you need an appliance fast, we've got you covered with trusted brands the moment you need them. You don't have to sweat the unexpected. Get what you need when you need it, now at Lowe's.
For over 25 years, Bellegarde has paved the way in the hardscapes industry, setting the standard for quality products through countless hours of research and development, providing customers with the tools that enable them to bring their outdoor visions to life. And every bit of that is done because of this. And this. And this. Create your space and your moments with Bellegarde Rooms.
The offense Mike Bloomgren has been used to watching this year, orchestrated by JT Daniels, a critical fourth down completion to Rawson McNeil, and then the touchdown throw to Luke McCaffrey, and that snaps a 28-0 run by UConn, and the Owls hoping that will get momentum back in their corner.
Hey, nobody said these games would be easy. You got to fight for every single thing. And we got ourselves a ball game here late in this third quarter.
McCaffrey, the touchdown catch. Fifth touchdown reception for the redshirt junior from Highlands Ranch.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Brinson is there. The coverage is outstanding. That's the other element we didn't really talk about. The coverage is so good, but a good pass can be.
The McCaffrey brothers, Max, Dylan, Christian, and Luke. Luke, the youngest, of course, proud papa, Ed, 13 years in the NFL, three-time Super Bowl champion. Max, wide receiver at Duke. He was in the NFL for 4 years. Dylan was a quarterback at Michigan, started his career in Ann Arbor, moved to Northern Colorado, and then, of course, right now, if you'd have to pick one MVP in the NFL, it's Christian.
Yeah.
If you have to pick an MVP for this UConn offense in the second half, it might be Victor Rosa. Big run on first down.
Yeah, now you can see why his average is one of the top averages in the nation. And you can see why. He doesn't change his speed. His offensive line's getting better, and he's starting to continue to run downhill on this defense. Once again, those runs started off at 1 or 2 yards a pop. Now they're starting to hit them really hard as this offense is up to 4.1 yards per rush now.
11 carries, 68 yards as Rosa spearheads this rushing attack for UConn. First down at the 45. Inside 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Rosa again, and you'll see they're going to favor this right side. Christian Haynes, the preseason All-American, who we've talked about a lot in this broadcast. There was some talk at the start of the year, maybe they'd slide Haynes into the center position. Keep in mind, Jake Guidoni graduated. He was really the fixture at center for a couple of years here at UConn, but Yakari Walker has played so well at center, they said, let's keep Haynes at guard. And a good move. Put your best 5 players in their best spots, and it's worked.
I think they've done a great job of that. And Afori Niadu, number 62, the left guard, he's a redshirt senior, so you've got the interior of this offensive line. You've got him circled around 2 seniors.
Roberson threads the needle along the side. That is Clarcius, his second catch of the day. And a first down in a tight window. The accuracy once again for Roberson.
And Roberson saying, hey, say what you want about JT Daniels. I got game 2. And look at this as he drops an absolute dime in between the safety and the corner. That's always tough to do when you throw those fade routes in a cover 2. You better throw it right behind that corner because that safety's coming to blow that receiver up. Perfect pass there.
It's pretty much a new receiving fleet when you look at UConn this year. They lost Aaron Turner and Keelan Marlin to the transfer portal. Clarcius, one of 2 receivers from a year ago, had over 100 yards receiving. They hit the portal. They went young. Clarcius with a couple of big catches in this game.
Wow, who let Blake Bonish out of there? It's a big play to send us to the fourth quarter.
A good one in South Main here at Rice. Special teams mistake. 3 take.
Only at Metro.
It's an opening night triple header on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
UConn leads Rice to 21 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. This storyline are in the making to win. Offensive coordinator Marcus Tuiasosopo and Jim Mora met each other long before their families knew each other. Tuiasosopo's dad played for Mora's dad with the Seattle Seahawks. Their connection is special to them. They were excited to see each other this week. Tuiasosopo said Mora's passion stands out. Coach Tui wants his players to know that about him too. Football's not just my job. I love this game, Tuiasosopo told me.
Yeah, Jim talked about the opportunity to watch Marcus. Keep in mind, both those guys played at Washington, and Jim had graduated. He was a spectator and a fan when Marcus led them to the Rose Bowl, the big game against Purdue, and the relationship and the bloodlines. Marcus's father I knew back in the day, great relationship, and those two keep in touch on a regular basis, except for this year, and they weren't sure, hey, we're playing each other, maybe we'll dial it back a little bit, but long-standing relationship. 3rd down and 11, throw by Roberson over the middle, broken up. Good play there by Wyatt, the Viper for Rice, and that'll set up a 4th down. Mora in this offense with a decision.
Well, here he is, Wyatt, back to his natural position playing safety. So those instincts take over. And that's a beautiful thing about him. He's technically that safety playing a linebacker, and the instincts there to come up and make that play, pretty outstanding there.
Joe McFadden to try to make this a 2-possession game. From 47 yards, good snap, kick on the way, it has enough leg, and it is good.
That's a big kick.
McFadden, who had not connected from 40-plus, picks one heck of a time to dial it up. 47 yards, and a huge 3 put on the board by UConn. Special guest joining us here in the broadcast booth, Tommy McClellan. A couple of months ago named the Vice President and Director of Athletics here at Rice University. And Tommy, first off, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been about 7 weeks, and just getting our feet wet here and trying to just kind of figure out where we're going to head as a program, but really excited. Couldn't be more excited about the opportunity to be at Rice and to be in the city of Houston. And looking forward to it. In the American Conference, new conference for us.
What excited you about this job?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of familiarity with it. Was in a league, different league with them, and so I knew the campus, knew the leadership, and I think it's the opportunity to be in a vibrant city with incredible student athletes. And I think there's an appetite to change and to be, more respected in athletics across the board. We've had histories and periods of times of that. And so how do we move forward together as a university to bring attention through the athletic department to widen the lens on the university? What are the incredible things that are going on all over this campus? I think athletics gives us a window into that perspective.
One of the exciting endeavors happening this year, you mentioned your relationship with Rice as far as Conference USA from your days with Louisiana Tech. Well, you navigated Louisiana Tech into a new conference, and you're going to be doing the same thing here, year 1 for Rice. Talk about the challenges with that.
Yeah, I think anytime you're going into a quote a new league, or even maybe a league that has more resources with the other schools, you have to take the approach of not we've just arrived into a new league, but rather how do we build a program that can be broad-based, successful across the board in the league, and that's our approach right now. We're raising the bar by the way that we try to communicate how success can be done, but over time, we want to be the most respected program in the American Conference.
You were coming off an incredible fundraising campaign at your last stop at Vanderbilt. $300 million raised. It's the largest athletic fundraiser that had taken place at the university. Talk about your visions, your success in that area coming to Rice as you move forward.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities where, Vanderbilt, again, elite academic in a vibrant city. But where we really saw that skyrocket there was where, the university put some money on the table. We had donors that matched it, and that really excited the fan base. And although the initial phase was $300 million, they've blown past that, and they're going to go to $600 million. It's really exciting, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to have institutional support. We're going to have donors that come alongside us to help us realize our goals.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot as an analyst. What do you think about the first half? What do you think about now and this going into the fourth quarter here? About this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's we've got some uncharacteristic mistakes that are costing us this game at this point in time, where just the turnovers, the losing the ball at the 1 yard line, and the lateral pass, which again I don't know why we didn't review it, but I think there's just an opportunity for us to here to at this in the fourth quarter to really dig deep here and find a way to win.
A lot to sort out on this last play, as you saw. Otoviano, it did not look like he had control of that, but they're going to rule that a live football. And then you saw a flag by Daniels where he let that ball go. So a lot to explain here. Again, we've had mic issues all afternoon. So they get to Daniels late. That's Colin McCarthy. 15 yards as we take another look at it. It's 91 who got a piece of it. And there's the fumble after the catch by Otoviano. Let's take a look. Did he have control? Boy, that was close.
Boy, it's awfully close. It's such a bang-bang play. Tough to tell. You know, he's making an athletic move with the ball, but he never really cleanly secured it. Now, the personal foul, roughing the passer, pays dividends here, moving him closer towards that red zone here.
So the Owls on the march. First down. This is Connors again trying to find any type of crevice. Good pursuit defense this time by UConn, setting up a second down. Tackle on the play by Amina Brown.
Man, that kid there has got the juice, man. I'm telling you, I can watch Dean Connors run all day. And he didn't get a yard on that, but it was the most non-getting yard play excitement there. He's just shifting in and out of tackles. Got to get him out in open space. He has got the moves that can really make a defense pay. You got to find him matched up well on this outside.
Second down and 11, empty set, pressure off the edge over the middle, and a miscommunication. You don't see that too often. Daniels and McCaffrey, and this brings up another third down.
Yeah, it looks like the receiver saw something else in the coverage, and that's the thing that people don't realize. It's not always about the quarterback reading the secondary. These receivers have to know what coverages are going on out there as well, because a lot of times in these route trees, it's dictated on what the coverage is seeing, right? They just weren't on the same page there.
Third down and 11. Otoviano will join Daniels in the backfield. Two receivers right. McNeil, who's had a big gain to the bottom, and that's the direction they're going, the 6'3 giant, but he had nowhere to go. Tremendous coverage by the redshirt sophomore north of the border. That's Malcolm Bell out of Ontario. And a fourth down situation coming up here.
That's a great job by Malcolm Bell. I mean, he's using that sideline as another defender, and he pushes McNeil out of bounds, so he couldn't have come back in and be the first guy to catch the pass or touch the ball anyway. Really good defense there by the Huskies.
So here comes Tim Horn, who missed earlier today. This to make it a one-possession game again. 49 yards for Horn.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That can't happen. You lay a game.
So let's see if this changes the decision process for Mike Bloomgren and this offense now looking at 54 yards for Horn, who has a career high of 48 earlier this year against Texas Southern.
Hey, I know this is not a popular decision. I almost think you punt this ball. I know you're down 10, but I think you, again, if you do try to go for it here and you don't get it, you're not giving up a ton of yards, but I would almost try to pin the offense on their own side here, let alone go for it here. You're going to give their offense pretty good field position.
Bryce hoping to convert for the second time tonight on fourth down. Daniels ducking and dodging, throws as he's hit, and it's incomplete, nearly intercepted. And the UConn defense comes away with the stop. Tommy McClellan will be back with us as we take a quick break. Here at Rice, the Husky defense forces the turnover on downs. UConn by 10.
Get ready for hosting at the Home Depot with free delivery on over 2 million items every day. So you can refresh your space before Santa or the family comes to town. Get holiday ready with savings at the Home Depot.
No sweat.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
We don't know any first responders who only give 90%. Or farmers, the workers who build our towns, roads, infrastructure. They don't stop at halfway. And good luck finding a small business owner who's happy with an 80% effort. That's why they use Ford trucks. Ford F-Series, 100% assembled in America. Because we're all in on America.
Sometimes all you need to change your life is a sign. Like an actual sign that's like above you. And no, I don't love B-dubs just because I'm a buffalo with wings. Frankly, that's offensive and reductionist. It's like they made beer into a place and gave that place sports and chicken wings. And the people, the best.
Marty! You're dead weight!
Yeah, this place is kind of like heaven. You know, without needing to get hit by a bus.
Let's go sports bar!
I got you.
11:33 to go, fourth quarter. UConn holding serve. Huskies lead by 10 early stages of this fourth quarter. Sean Kinney once again joined by Rice Athletic Director Tommy McClellan. And Tommy, we were talking before the break. You know, you look at this stadium, so much history here at historic Rice Stadium. We saw the renovations a few years ago. Take us through the plans moving forward.
Yeah, I think the main thing is we're going to, take a long look at what is possible. I think it's real obvious we've got to make sure we create a more intimate environment that has higher end premium of fan experience. That's where most stadiums are going to these days. And then kind of figure out who can we be while keeping the historic perspective.
This is such an exciting time to be an Owl. So as you put together your priority list, again, you haven't been here for 2 months, August 14th. But what's your priority list moving forward here in the year 23, moving into 24?
Yeah, I mean, I think always you're trying to do everything you can to create more revenue so you can support your student athletes, because the student athletes are the priority. They're doing an incredible job on this campus of going to school and representing this university very well, and we deserve to give them the best experience possible. And I think part of how you do that is creating a fan experience that helps them with their experience.
Tommy, we wish you the best. Exciting time to be an Owl. We talked to a lot of people yesterday. Best of luck in the future.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Tommy McClellan, athletic director here at Rice University, our guest, and he's hoping for a fourth quarter rally here from his Owls as Rice tries to stay unbeaten here at historic Rice Stadium. 3rd down and 8. Roberson to throw from the 36. Little slant pattern pass is caught. That's Rance. Hauled in by Jolie, the tight end, with the grab, and that's going to be shy of the first down. There's an injured Owl as well as we take another look at it.
Yeah, nice job here by Roberson to snap that thing out quickly to allow Jolie to make the catch, but also protect himself right at the stick. Now, it's not going to be enough. So it looks like these Huskies got to punt this ball away.
Nice defense. They come up with the stop, get the football back in JT Daniels' hand. Terrific punt here by Caratan. This one a little bit too much juice as it reaches the end zone for the touchback. 9:14 to go, fourth quarter. Rice with some work to do, trailing by 10.
Your first home sees a lot of firsts. From first loves to first steps. Sure, it can be a handful at times, keeping you up at night.
Come on now.
But with help from the Home Depot,
Thank you very much.
you'll find the confidence to create the first place you call your own. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Ford. You see the name driving down almost every road in America. But you'll also find it in other places. On the grip of hammers raising homes, in toy boxes, and classrooms. Because over 2,900 Ford dealerships nationwide means more people serving more communities like yours for more than 120 years. Ford, we are all in on America.
On a spicy Fansville.
Welcome back to Touch Take, where I lock myself in a room and I yell about sports. Hot take. Punting is for losers. Hot take. Hot take. Hot take. Let's go back to leather helmets.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than this.
We need a clutch hit. Derek Jeter.
Hang in there, rookie.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere! What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref! Let the boys play!
I got you.
JT Daniels trying to orchestrate a little late magic here as he starts this drive from the 20-yard line. Daniels gets away from a possible sack as he throws a bit behind McNeil, but boy, he felt the pressure. Second down coming up. Don't forget, American Hoops fans, tune in Monday for the men's and women's basketball media day. It's exclusively on ESPN Plus. Coming next month, be on the lookout for the All Access show, FAU basketball. Run it back. And then finally, ESPN Plus, your home for the American Fall Championships featuring men's and women's soccer plus cross country. Catch all the action right here on ESPN Plus. Critical drive right now, LB, for Rice. Down 10. Daniels pumps right, now throws over the middle, pass caught. 35 up to the 37-yard line. 17-yard completion. It's Luke McCaffrey.
And that's one of the better jobs this offensive line has done. This time they give him some time here to scan the field. He had to clutch it, but then he just trusts to come back across the middle of the field, and Luke McCaffrey stays on track, shows his numbers. That's a big gain there for the Owls.
First down, JT Daniels sets up near side. Again, out of the backfield, slipping free. It is Connors up ahead to the 46-yard line.
Yep, that's fine. And playing quarterback in the one-on-one rule book of playing quarterback, you can never go broke taking a profit. And taking a profit is checking it down, throwing it underneath. You want to keep this defense balanced. You don't want them just sitting back all the time. Make them have to come up and defend these short intermediate areas.
Rice winning the statistical battle. Daniels 26 completions to 8 different receivers. Second down, Connors running right. First down, has a wall of blockers. 40, 35, runs over the defender down to the 28-yard line. Went right over the top of Lee Mollett.
Here it is. It's one of these plays that you kind of save for the right time in the game. And Tuiasosopo pulls it out at the right time. Misdirection, gets the defense going another way. Has the eye candy test. They failed it as Dean Connors goes out the back door for a big gain.
85 yards of total offense today for the versatile back, the Riverside Community College transfer, year 2. Here for Rice. First down and 10, the ball at the 30. Daniels with a pocket over the middle. Pass is caught. McCaffrey hangs on. Touchdown. Oh, what a catch as he got popped across the face. And the Owls are right back in it.
I'm just impressed that McCaffrey still has his helmet on his head. It's an absolute laser by JT Daniels. And you see that right at the end. I don't know why they didn't get called a flag, but nonetheless, these pesky, feisty Nightbirds won't go away as they get the points they need to make this thing tight going into the end of the fourth here.
Luke McCaffrey just continues to make plays. Started his career at Nebraska, had played quarterback his entire life until last year. Mike Bloomgren asked him to make a change. Would you consider wide receiver? And boy, what a move it has been for this offense.
And it's been a nice addition, and I'm telling you, he has just been one of these guys that the whole team just galvanizes. He won the George Martin Award last year for the team MVP, and rightfully so. Not only that, he led the team in receptions a year ago as well. But coming into this game, he led the American Conference in receiving yards, and look at that there. I mean, that's right on par. You know, his best game coming into this game was against South Florida, 9 catches for 199.
McCaffrey, the second fastest player to go over 1,000 yards receiving in Rice history. He did it in just 15 career games. You see the frustration right now from Jim Mora. They have been here before. We talked about it in the open. Margin of error to win a college football game so close. UConn has been on the cusp a few times this season. They've fallen short each and every time. Can they bring it home here on the road tonight? A little bit of room for Domino as he takes it up to the 26.
Now you're kind of in that area for UConn. Well, if you had a 10-point lead, you almost can kind of get conservative, Sean. But now the lead only being 3 points, you got to pick up first downs. And so that's going to be where you still got to keep this playbook open, and you almost have to be aggressive at some point in time here. So you can't just sit back and hand this thing off and let the clock kind of slip away. Too much time left in this game.
These are situations that Taquan Roberson, after nursing his ACL, rehabbing vigorously to get the opportunity to lead drives like this, try to hang on to the lead. His favorite target today has been Jolie. He makes the catch up near the 28-yard line. Wyatt with another stop.
Now that one there is just the 21st century version of the triple option. Back when I came up, Sean, we had a wishbone in the backfield. We three running backs. We faked to the fullback. We pitched it outside to the tailback. This one this year, in this day of football, you fake that, but you've got a receiver out in the flat now. That was a nice first down gain as they're set up pretty nice here in 2nd and 4.
Roberson making his 4th start of the season. Again, it was the transfer Joe Fignano who won the job out of camp. A tightly contested job, as you see the tight run here by Rosa, just keeping those legs churning. Victor Rosa up to the 41-yard line and a UConn first down. But Roberson tore his ACL, 2nd series last year against Utah State. Missed all of last season, hungry to get back, and now an opportunity to lead this offense.
I just think he looks poised, and it's always good to have a running back like Rosa. He's been the constant. You know, he didn't start off the way you thought he might have, but man, he has gotten really good in this second half. That was a nice run there. The little outside zones that they've been able to pick up big yards on, starting to cash this defense even more.
They'll use all of the play clock. They'll take the snap with just a second to go. And a quick hitter over the middle. Pass is caught. Room to run. Watch out. Into the open. Jolie. Gone. Touchdown. UConn, the big / tight end hybrid receiver on the quick strike.
Well, this is a classic case of a receiver being bigger than the defensive backs, and it's a perfect pass, play-action pass, sets this defense up, and they're out of position, and Jolie, as big as physical he is, got the speed to get the job done to get it to the house. Wow.
59 yards to Justin Jolie. Trouble with the snap. Good job there by Carrington to get it down, and now some late flags, and Some frustration mounting over as flags fly, some post-snap pushing and shoving. UConn, 3 plays, 76 yards. The 59-yard touchdown to Jolie. 7 catches for the tight end, 96 yards today.
We talked about they couldn't be, conservative. They had to come out and play the game on the field. They couldn't sit back and hand it off. So you saw a good mix of that. You saw a little inside-outside zones, and then the play-action pass. What a perfect call by Nick Charlton. I think he's called a masterful game to me. I think he's got a feel of what his team can do against this defense, and that right there is the one you've been saving, and that couldn't have come at a better time.
And what he has is he has a quarterback who just doesn't make mistakes right now.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about playing quarterback. It's the plays that you don't make that separates some of the good quarterbacks from the great ones, really. And
a little bit of frustration from Rice, and it is UConn via the airwaves. Jolie, 59 yards. The Huskies inch a little bit closer to win number 1 this year. Season high, 38 points put up on the board by the UConn offense. The last 6 coming from that man right there, Justin Jolie. And all of a sudden, this offense, for the second straight week, LD, putting together a really nice balanced attack. A quarterback that's in control, some weapons at the tight end and receiver position, and then you get the running from Rosa to go along with this experienced offensive line.
Teams have to always find a positive in everything, right? Even in a loss last week, I thought they came out of there with some things they can certainly bring into this week, and we're seeing it here this evening now. And this offense has the ability to keep a defense guessing, and so far so good. This Rice Owls defense has not been able to stop them in quite some time. Now the pressure back on the Rice Owls offense. Can they continue to go? Can they keep up with 5 minutes and 6 seconds left in the game?
Well, they have the right guy out there in number 18, JT Daniels, one of the more electrifying arms in all of college football, and they are going to need that magic right arm. They go under the middle, caught up ahead, past the 35, up to the 38-yard line. That's Gruen, the tight end. And now you'll see a little bit of urgency. Rice, obviously no huddle situation, still lots of time, 5 minutes to go. Daniels keeping his eyes downfield, dumps it off. This is Connors with the catch. Just look at him make some hay out of nothing. He had white jerseys all around him.
That is remarkable. I mean, that is not easy to do. It's like he's out there playing flag football.
Good chunk of yards after the first couple of plays. Again, UConn will rush forward. They'll take a shot. One-handed attempt along the edge. Incomplete. They were looking for Gruen.
Wow, there's a lot of contact on that sideline, Sean. Mollett out there, Lee Mollett, number 21.
Keep in mind, with the new rules in college football, clock won't stop on first downs until inside 2 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. The Owls had to use a timeout earlier in the half. 2 remaining, second down and 10. The ball just on the UConn side of the field. In a 3-man rush, Daniels throws high and it's intercepted. The 4th turnover of the night by Rice. It's Chris Sheeran for the 2nd straight week coming up with a pick.
I saw this play developing, and I'm sitting there thinking, and again, it's easy from where I'm sitting. I'm saying, I hope he doesn't try to get McCaffrey across the middle. It looks good, but man, that's such a tight window that you absolutely have to be primo perfect. And a little bit going off there. The big INT, Sean, could prove the nail in the coffin.
We love our house. The outdoor space is great, but we do have invasive weeds.
I think we got in the house.
I think you're right.
And of course, one is for
buddy. Why are you so strong? At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. We save so much.
You want me to get the spray stuff?
Get the spray stuff.
He's up here!
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Duncan's very advanced. Science, algebra, formulas. You know, there's a lot that goes into this. You can't just come up with a name.
Ice Spray's Munchkin's drink.
What would that be?
You put the Munchkin in the Dunkin'.
I think I got replaced.
On a devastating Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Whoa! That was pass interference!
That's it. Season's over.
Our program's cursed. See?
I can't watch this. Every year I fall for the preseason hype.
I made all this for nothing!
I'm never watching football again.
Hey, guys, that was the first play of the game.
Maybe we overreacted.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water?
Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word, it's just that you haven't.
What?
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
I got you. Ooh, ooh, I got you. Ooh, ooh. La, 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 I got you. Ooh, ooh, I got you. Ooh, ooh.
The day here, week 6 of the college football season, with 4 teams still looking for their first win. Earlier today, Virginia was able to secure a victory, and now UConn 4 minutes 16 seconds away from knocking off Rice, possibly handing the Owls their first home loss of the season. Expect a steady dose of number 22 right now, Victor Rosa.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at that list. You know, Nevada, I watched them play Fresno State last week. That's a really good football team, too. And Sam Houston, you're talking about a FCS national champion on the schneid. And then we're looking at the UConn Huskies today. And again, I just think these teams are better than their records. And it's tough to play consistent in the long grand scheme of a year. It's tough to do that. Every team now in college football is competitive. They're good. And we're seeing it come to fruition here tonight. And the Huskies are 3 minutes and some change from getting that number 1 dub this year.
Rosa again picks up 3. How about the job by Jim Mora and his coaches this week? Again, continuing to keep his team dialed in. And he talked about it with us earlier this week, how he knew this was going to be a tough job at UConn. This is a program that had won 5 games in 10 years prior to his arrival. They did not play football in 2020. He took over a 1-win team in 2021, and in his first year, he leads them to a bowl. But he talked about it. Sometimes to go from 1 to 6 wins is a lot easier than to go from 6 to 7 wins or beyond.
He's exactly right. I always look at when a coach comes in, a lot of times the team will take the mentality of the head coach, and I think this team is tough, and I think they are really special in the sense of attention to detail, doing the little things right. I think he's going to be short here, Sean.
So the carry by Rosa is going to be about a half a yard short. Rice with those 2 timeouts, continuing to unsort the pile. Oh, they're going to give him a pretty good spot. They're going to say Rosa first down.
Do we even do the measurement with the chain anymore? We don't even do that anymore. That's eliminated from
past.
Apparently. I didn't even think he got to the 35.
So they are going to take a look at this upstairs for the spot.
I mean, call me crazy, Sean, but I thought he was well short of that.
Yeah, initially watching it, it certainly looked like he was going to be about a half yard shy. But we will take another look. So will our referee tonight, who's been busy, Kevin Randall. Here we go.
He has been busy. Here we go to see the push. Yeah.
Well, he is on top of his tight end there, Nick Harris. He landed right on top of the tight end, Harris.
Yeah, that's going to be a close one now. His knee touched down. To me, it looked like in between the 33 and 34-yard line, to me, is where his knee went down. Now he falls down on the other side of the 34, close to the 35. I still looking at that, don't think he was close enough.
Keep in mind the call on the field, the spot is the 35, so they're going to have to find indisputable evidence as they take multiple looks at it. They're going to change it.
And look at that football. That football is just touching the stripe. I mean, it is right on it. Here it is. Long way to go. Contact made. I think his helmet makes it to the 35, but I don't see that ball making anywhere near the 35-yard line.
So if Rice has any shot here, obviously an important call and decision coming up.
Well, here's the thing. If you're UConn, you're not worried too much about first downs now. You're up 10. The time is your friend. And so anything that can milk this clock down, you don't care if it's a punt. You don't care at this juncture. You just want to get the clock to go in your favor because, again, Rice has to go down and score twice. That's the thing.
UConn program, bowl eligible last year for the first time since 2015. Lost to Marshall in the bowl game. Ironically, a program that was once in the American Athletic. They left after the 2019 season. This is their third year as an independent. Take a look at their schedule, a difficult schedule. 3 ACCs, a couple of American teams back-to-back, Rice this week, and then after the bye, they have South Florida coming to town and their high-powered offense. We're about to find out. Let's listen in. LD.
Hey, I got something right today, right?
So short, fourth down coming up. Again, with the microphone issue, let's see where they're going to spot it. Could not hear 30. Yeah, looks like the 34.
It looks. He looked like he said 34.5-yard line. That's the imaginary. Where the football is, Sean, looks like it's just crossed the 34.
Bloomgren talking with our officiating crew after that last review. So UConn short, fourth and less than a yard. What do you suppose this conversation is about?
I'm sitting here racking my brain to figure that out as well. I don't know if it's I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know if it's a clock issue or a timing issue or something like that. Everything is going towards the Rice Owls. You're going to get the ball back. I think he's looking up at the clock to see if there's some extra seconds that may have ran off. That's the only thing I can think of, Sean.
Obviously a situation like that, had the spot been correct initially with the call, Rice would have used that timeout. But as they were unpiling everybody and sorting everything out, the clock continued to move.
Yeah,
Now they will try to pinpoint exact moment as far as where to reset this clock. And if you're Rice, every added second is precious.
Oh, yeah, you believe that. Can we get the mic to work this time? I heard 220-something.
As expected, Rice will utilize their timeout. Now let's see what they reset the game clock to, and I hope they have some one-on-one communication here because that microphone has not been cooperating from our opening kick. It's like 2:20, so they tack on an additional 4 seconds, and you can bet if you're Jim Mora, you've seen some wild things already this year, and Mora's in all of his years of coaching, you look at his experience at UCLA, his years in the NFL, he's never been in a situation like this? Winless after 5 weeks, uncharted territory, if you will.
Well, I think a lot of these coaches just love the challenge, and they understand that, hey, you're going to have to go through some rough patches, and that's part of building the program how you want it. Now, I think the blueprint is there, and it's just going to take a couple of recruiting classes to get this thing back to where Coach Moore wants it.
Caratan on the punt. Not a real great kick, and this one will skip its way out of bounds. So 31-yard punt. Rice starts up shop with the one timeout, down 10, and there's JT Daniels today.
Well, this is why you have JT Daniels on campus. You know, you just want to keep giving him chance after chance. Now, this is going to be tough. Time is not on their side, but they still have one timeout remaining. You got to get 2 scores. So no matter how you can do it, the fastest way, whether get down, kick a quick field goal, kick it onside, throw it to the end zone, and hope you take your chances there. But you got to get 2 scores.
Safety's a good 20-25 yards downfield, so they'll take what they get up past midfield to the 46-yard line, 17 yards. Still no whistles, is not going down after the catch.
You don't have time for that. You got to catch and you got to get down. It's a great job eluding the pressure by JT Daniels. Now just go down. Just give yourself up, go down, because the defense is trying to hold you up so that clock runs.
Nice lined up, ready to go. First down and 10. JT Daniels over the middle. This is Connors with the catch. And his tackle shy of the first down, about a yard shy, so the clock continues to move. Minute 43, minute 42.
Yeah, that's what receivers have to do. As soon as you catch it, run it back to the umpire, give him the ball.
JT Daniels over the middle, off the hands, incomplete. A little bit too hot to handle for the tight end Gruen.
That would have been a tough one. That's a real tough catch. Gruen, he's athletic. Watch him pirouette around, just can't hold on to it. That's a tough catch. And that's what we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. JT Daniels is an aggressive vertical passer. I mean, he likes to throw those seams. He likes to throw those vertical routes and the zone coverages.
46th pass attempt of the night, and it's good to Connors, who's been a favored target. Connors pushing his way down the near sideline, steps out of bounds at the 13-yard line, and it will be first down for Rice.
Now, this is just a really nice job. JT Daniels recognizing the coverage, just getting out to Connors, and then Connors can do the rest. Look at that. Gets a little bit of extra yards before going out of bounds. That's a smart football play. This team in good shape. You got that one timeout remaining. Now you got to start taking some shots in this end zone.
7 catches for Connors. Empty set. First down and 10. They'll take a shot back of the end zone. Corner broken up at the last second. Ben Wahad, who has been the defensive secondary star tonight for UConn.
How many times you called his name? I mean, he has been all over the field, and you know he's taken on those one-on-one matchups against bigger receivers. McNeil's 6'5". Here you all have been Wahad. There he is. Just making it difficult. That's all you want to do when you play defensive back.
3 receivers right. Raylan Walker to the bottom. See Daniels' numbers today. Second down and 10. 3-man rush. Over the middle they go. This is Quentin Jackson. Jackson fighting for extra yards inside the 5. Again, Rice might have to use their timeout here. They did not pick up a first down, so the clock continues to move.
Yeah, gotta hurry.
Owls lining up. JT Daniels getting his players into position. 52, 51 and counting. Third down in a yard. Daniels stationary. Now he backpedals a few. Looking toward the opposite corner. Good coverage. Nowhere to go. And it's fourth down. It's a 2-possession game here, so do you take the 3? You're going to need 2 scores eventually and look for the onside kick.
That's why I'm up here in the booth with you to make that call. But I think the field goal here is the smart thing. Get the sure points now. You know, it's kind of like we talked about before this drive started, Sean. You got to get 2 scores no matter what kind of order that is.
Second field goal attempt of the night for Tim Horn. missed earlier. This one a chip shot, 23 yards, smack dab in the center of the field. Misfired from 29 earlier. Snap down, kick on the way, and he sneaks it through, and it's a one-possession game with 40 seconds to go, and the onside kick coming up.
Here we go, onside kick. I mean, you got a chance, and the kick, it's all about the bounce, right? And the kickers, you know, they're over there practicing these things while everybody else is doing 7-on-7 drills. Everybody's doing tackling drills. They're over there perfecting the bounce of this onside kick. And you know, with the new turf now, the ball bounces a little bit funnier than back when I played on AstroTurf, but you know, again, or on a natural grass field. So you've got to hit this thing just right. It's got to go 10 yards, as we all know.
UConn sending out their hands unit. You see Jolie, one of the guys that's going to be on that front wall on the near side.
So a lot of times, Sean, these receiving teams on an onside, you don't necessarily have your hands guy anymore on that front line. You may have one or two, but you've got big guys because this kick team is coming down to pick off the guys, right? They're coming to knock the front wave off so they can clear the two guys behind over here to get a free run at the ball.
Horn getting the ball perfectly positioned to his liking.
Look who's down at the bottom of your screen. You got Eric Watts, the defensive end. He's down here. That's going to be a timeout here.
UConn taking that timeout. They wanted to see how Rice was going to come out with their onside approach. So now they're going to make an adjustment, and this game of checkers becomes a game of chess all of a sudden here between these two coaches and how they want to handle it.
And you're absolutely right. It's just like in basketball, right? You get that set, come out there and see how the defense reacts. Okay, call timeout. Let's make an adjustment if we need to. Now, if you're Rice, you don't want to get too tricked up here. Let's keep focus on what you're doing. Don't try to misdirection. You're going to an onside kick. Everybody in this stadium knows you got an onside kick. Everybody home watching TV know you got to do an onside kick. Don't get too fancy here. Trust the bounce. Trust the kick here. And that's your guys who are just going to go get this ball.
Tim Horn ready to go. Has his Owls lined up. The onside kick. Ball bouncing, squibbing its way right to the arms of Mr. Justin Jolie, who we were just talking about.
There you go.
They never got that big kick that you were talking about.
You were kind of anticipating it here. I thought he hit it pretty well. It's kind of dribbling, bounce right there, but it never did. It stayed low, and that was basically Jolie playing shortstop and making a good field there, and he never really was threatened with that one.
What a moment this must be for UConn after near misses. They played NC State so tough opening week, lost by 10. They tried to rally, came up short against FIU. Last week, the 1-point gut-wrenching loss at home to Utah State, and now on the road for the very first time here in 2023. Jim Mora and his Huskies can celebrate a victory heading into the bye week.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought game. This is a good football team. These Rice Owls are a good football team too. We talked about how they've been 3-0 coming into in home games this season, and you know they play well here. But credit to Coach Moore and his staff. His kids turned it up another level from that second quarter on, and they never really looked back, Sean.
Their first win since November 12th of